Wait, hold on. I'm not even ready, but I wanna start with this. So what? Hold on, let me get rid of the overlay.
So this is
Yeah,
it comes with a pack of like hot sauce basically.
I already don't like this.
And it's like this it's this string candy. It's almost like licorice, but it's coated in chili pepper. Um
I don't like that.
and it's called salsa getty.
It's so gross.
So basically what you do is you put the hot sauce
Oh, gross! What are you doing? What are you
onto the
doing?
you put the
That's
hot
so
sauce
gross.
Ugh, that's
onto the
fucking
noodles,
disgusting.
and
It's in
then
the
you just
noodles.
yeah, and you just eat it.
No,
It's delicious.
Ben.
This is fantastic.
What?
How have you never heard of salsa
Ugh.
getty before?
Because I'm a normal human being. What do you mean? Ugh.
It's delicious, man.
You're off the podcast.
Just like that.
If you're gonna do shit like this, we're gonna get flagged immediately.
This is it's a candy.
It's like candy, but it's not candy. It's like it though.
I don't like it.
Be respectful of my culture.
What culture? What are you talking about?
Actually, this is your culture. This is Mexican candy, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, aren't you culturally misappropriating or whatever it's called?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm misappropriating my cultural funds.
Yeah.
I think it's cultural appropriation. I like to say cultural misappropriation of funds.
I feel like cultural misappropriation probably makes.
This is
It's a bit large.
like almost like a Christmas beer, yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
It
festive.
says
Is it a
summer of
Christmas beer?
dose. It says summer of dose because Dos Equis, I guess. No, it's just what the fuck's going on here? Some weird shit. Jeremy came over the other night. Him and Tony came over the other night, and I know he's been liking these micheladas, so I got him 3 of these and this thing that you can like put the michelada sauce in. It was disgusting.
I bet
I
you
don't-
Jeremy would love this stuff.
He probably would. Yeah,
He probably
likes
would, yeah.
that disgusting garbage.
Yeah, when Jeremy comes on, we'll ask him about it. Because no.
That's the Dos Equis.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you guys can turn down wet licorice covered in chili powder.
Easily.
Wet licorice is actually my nickname in high school.
You wish.
Don't you
Oh.
remember I used to make this? Like
In the apartment?
yeah, I
No.
would take sour punch straws actually, and I would put them in a Tupperware thing and put a bunch of tahini in.
Oh, I
Yeah.
remember
Oh,
now. Yeah, I remember that.
Why would you
And
do
you-
that?
And
because
he
it was
said,
delicious.
and he used to come in when I would make those. You remember those Voila family dinners, the frozen bag of like.
Oh
Those
my
are
God.
so good. Those
so
are
good. And he
Those
used to
smell
come in.
so
He was like,
bad.
"Are you just cooking vomit?" Because apparently they smell bad. But now he's
Dude,
in
it
there
smells so bad.
concocting this fucking.
That's weird that
Gummy
the
candy
Came
Wawa
with
stuff-
the
bullshit.
concoction, man. I didn't make this up. I followed the instructions on the package.
He didn't concoct nothing. Why am I so hot tonight?
He's acting like a concoct.
You should turn it down to sexy.
I know, right? My camera is blowing me out.
Ooh,
See?
well, careful, Dad.
Look
We're
at my
live.
white-
Oh, that's
Fine.
what you mean by hot.
Yeah. It's usually much better at doing, this adjustmentation.
I thought you were experiencing menopause.
No, I think I'm through that already. What's
Mhm.
menopause?
That's
I
debatable.
don't know. It sounded funny.
I've definitely been through second puberty. That's for damn sure, but I don't think I've hit menopause.
Doug's
yet,
still going through his first one.
right? He's been going through it for 50 years.
Sounds like Doug.
Wow, since he was born. Huh.
Started it early.
Waiting on that Jeremy.
Waiting on Jared Dog.
Waiting on that Jeremy. Well, I mean, I could go get some wine. I might as well just bring
Yeah.
the entire bottle over here
Go get some wine.
to get through this travesty that we're about to cover.
Don't spoil it.
This is so weird.
Oh, I'm
This-
not.
Yeah, don't spoil it.
Can't spoil this.
I don't understand why this is. Yeah, it's a little better. It's having trouble adjusting to my egghead for some reason.
Your nib is a bit bright there, Dad.
My bright nib. Yes.
Goose song.
It usually has. She's pretty good at adjusting to the bright nib, but for some reason it's having trouble tonight.
All right, let me monitor. God, I always do this. Hold on. See, the problem with the latency on YouTube is there's a little bit of a delay between what we're recording and then when it gets streamed onto YouTube. And so I always like, okay, let me monitor the audio. By the time I've like gotten ready to monitor it, I've stopped talking on the stream. And I'm just sitting here. I'm just like, okay, I'll start talking in a second.
That sounds really weird.
Okay, I think we're good. If I'm loud, let me know.
That sounds really weird.
Cool.
That?
Vocal effects. Bring that in.
Did you buy like a voice modulator? What the hell?
It's a harmony pedal that I have.
You've got a harmony pedal plugged into your vocals?
Well, because I normally play. I'm going into a mixer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
And
get
then
mine. I'll be right back.
The output from that mixer goes into the Focusrite, but it's how I sit here and play music by myself, with headphones on, and I'm able to balance it and do the harmony pedal and crap like that. And I do it all with my headphones on.
Why is it so important that your headphones are on?
I don't know, just because it sounds more better.
You emphasize that point like 3 times.
I know, because
I
I
do it with
with
my headphones on.
and I do it like this.
Oh,
Right? I
you're-
do the hands, my headphones on.
With my headphones
Yeah.
on.
Hey,
Right. Am I doing that right?
Jeremy.
Hello.
Hey, Jeremy.
Jeremy.
It's Gary and Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Want a deal on a Grote guitar?
You're parting ways with it?
I'll tell you why. So I went to
Get that out of here.
look at him.
What is
Ooh.
that?
I'm glad I brought the
Oh,
entire
spaghetti?
bottle. This is what I'm getting through.
Yeah.
I went
it's
to
open.
I went to
It's blurring it out.
I went to Sam Ass today to get some strings for my
Yeah.
acoustic,
Mhm.
and overhanging on the wall was my guitar, my Epiphone Century that I brought
Oh,
back
okay.
for
Mhm.
$400. So I'm just gonna rebuy it, and then I'll cut you a sweet deal on this one.
Oh, dude, I am
'Cause
way down.
I can't find yours. I can't find a link for this. I can't find any
Really?
of them on Amazon, and the company I bought it from, they don't. This must have been their last one or something.
You know, it's funny because I really have been looking at buying one. I started looking at reviews online for those Groats.
Yeah, and I've set this
So-
one up for you, so you're good to go. So I was like, fuck it. I was on my motorcycle today, so otherwise I would have picked it up today. But so yeah, by way of buying it and returning it, I'm getting a hell of a discount.
Oh, well, hell yeah.
Whatever works, man.
That's
So-
awesome.
So yeah, I go over to the we can't get rid of shit wall, and it was $3.99. I was like, fuck, I spent $650 on this thing. Sweet, I'll just rebuy it for $400.
Yeah. Huh. That's
Did
great.
you like find is this an exploit in the like commerce system or something?
It's an accidental one. I didn't expect this to happen.
Do you like is this an item duplication glitch? Are you gonna suddenly have like 200 guitars and
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
God, I hope not. Or I hope
Man,
so.
but
One of the two.
yeah, that would be great.
yeah.
That
Cut
thing
you
is sick.
Sweet on this, right?
I
Great
love
guitar.
that P90 sound in the neck. I'm
Yeah.
totally in love with it now. It's so nice.
Right. So yeah, I'll cut you a sweet deal on this. So $3,000. I'm just kidding.
I think-
Only.
I think
Expensive.
Andrea heard us talking about spicy candy bench. She just texted me out of nowhere.
Oh, did she really?
Yeah, I haven't spoken to
Really?
Andrea since I moved out of the apartment.
She heard you
Oh,
guys.
Yeah. Liz,
Does Ben have
What's up, man?
spicy candy?
That's what the salsa
He
getty
does.
is, man.
check this shit out. If
Salsa spaghetti, bro.
you're watching in the chat, let me know if you
Salsa
think this
Getty,
is
okay.
this is
Well,
a good
what-
idea because this is a
is it
terrible
like,
fucking idea.
You're talking
What does
about
it
my
look like
candy?
though? That's just the package.
Oh yeah. So
What
I've
does the
already
candy
eaten
look
it,
like?
So
but
gross.
basically
shit.
it's like this. It's like a licorice candy that comes in a little plastic container like that, and it comes with a hot sauce packet.
What?
Yeah.
What?
And the licorice
What?
itself is covered in like chili powder, and so you
Mhm.
basically like you put the hot sauce on the licorice,
Mm-hmm.
and then you eat
Tell
it.
me more.
Why
and
is this? How?
It's fucking delicious.
That
It's like-
sounds great.
That's
The other night,
terrible.
Jeremy came over and he's drinking his michelada, and I could smell the fucking pepper flakes or whatever the hell he's using. And I was thinking on trying one, and as soon as I smelled, I'm like, "There's no fucking way I can drink that. That just smells terrible."
That one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you like them or you don't. I think with those.
Yeah,
You also have to have an
absolutely
iron
don't.
stomach. Like you have to grow up eating Mexican candy, I think, in order to,
Yeah.
or like eating chili powder, because like it will wreck your insides. Like it's not.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to just ingest pure chili powder.
If you
Yeah,
grew up
it
on
does.
meatloaf and Pop Tarts, you're not gonna like it. So
It's
say that right now.
got a
Yeah.
little too much flavor.
Well,
for me.
Way
the
too much
the
flavor.
powder michelada definitely does worse damage to you than if you were to make your own.
Yeah.
Because if you make your own michelada, you're using more like clamato, like the more like
Clamato.
pasty sort of tomato juice
Clamato.
Mhm.
You're a
texture.
Is
pasty
it?
tomato
And
juice.
Actually, have clam. Look at Dana just drinking straight from the old Wazoo.
Straight from the 8 bottle.
Yeah,
Give me a
that's
hard
it.
time about my salsa Yeti.
Hey, this is normal, okay?
Dana's
This
drinking
is
from
classy.
a
That's
handle.
white
It's,
Bull.
it's not full. I
cab.
just want to point that out, okay? I know how this looks. This isn't full.
Yeah,
It's
he's
like-
already crushed half of it.
Yeah.
See?
Sitting here.
at lunch.
This isn't
Okay.
full. Crushed the first half at lunch. Yeah.
So we watched. We watched a movie, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, I guess you could call it that. Yeah.
We watched something on screens. So
We watched a 2.5 hour experience.
What was that?
Okay, so let's get into this. So this is the We Like This podcast.
Still a tad quiet, Dana. Sorry, you're on it for us.
I'm looking pretty good there in the levels, but I'll turn myself up.
Just give
Sorry.
us a little so we can hear you better.
Okay. Hold on one sec. Pause. Check. It's a little bit. I spiced it up a tiny bit.
What?
My audio. I guess it didn't do anything.
Oh,
You
No,
sound
like
a little bit
earlier-
louder.
earlier when you turned your volume up, you sounded volumey.
Well, I got further away, but I'm
Okay,
closer now.
well, whatever.
So
Okay, so we
so this is the We Like This podcast. I am joined by myself, Dana Waters. Got
We've
the
been
look.
live this whole time.
Got the look. We have. Yeah. Hey, we're live. By the way, Jared.
Oh, Jeremy, we're live.
Yeah.
Jeremy, we're live.
We're live.
I'm joined by Doesn't Know It's Live Jeremy, Jeremy Dallas, Ben Nickerson, and my father, Daryl Waters. I need to get a fucking.
That's it. Demonetized instantly.
I'm not sorry. I said the F word.
wow.
I need to get a pop filter.
We have
for
to
this
make
thing.
it
Get
at
outta
least
here.
5 minutes in before you can start
Deplatform.
saying.
I
fuck.
think that's the rule, right? That's
Oh, we've
the-
been going for 5 minutes, so it's fine.
Oh, that's
yeah.
a good point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
apparently
we're
we've been
good.
going
See?
Yeah,
for
we've
a
already-
little while.
Yeah, Jeremy
Yeah.
doesn't even know when we
Alright,
started.
nobody heard that weirdly. Never mind. I was gonna say something, but I feel like we can.
So we
protect
watched
ourselves
Wonder
from
Woman
off the internet.
1980. I got you, Ben.
Oh
I'll
my
just talk over you.
God,
It's
dude.
fine.
Yeah, we watched that.
So yeah, Wonder Woman 1984. I don't even know where to start. Like it's,
I know exactly where to start.
All right,
With
you
the
want to
best
take
beginning?
sequence of the movie, which is the very first. the
Yeah.
and that's not saying a lot, man. The first sequence of the movie doesn't even have Gal Gadot in it.
or
Yeah.
Gal Gadot.
It,
Yeah.
it like
Oh,
it starts.
That's
we
right.
have like this like.
I
we
call
have
her Gal
this,
Gadot.
Gal Gadot, man. We had this. We had this beautiful like opening scene on like this like river valley.
Themyscira.
And then Gal Gadot is like, oh yeah, Themyscira, the place.
That's where we're
the
at, yeah.
Amazonians are. And little Gadot, the Gadotling, is
Little Godot.
she's like
She a rapper?
sprinting. She's
A
like sprinting through the
Gadotling.
woods, and she's like running through the water. She's like 5, and she's just like maybe 8. She's like like pushing trees out of the way. She's
Mhm.
like, this is my land. I'm nature. And
Yeah.
Gal Gadot's giving this like fucking monologue introducing the idea that she like doesn't remember what it's like to be young, except sometimes she remembers it perfectly. Which is a
Yeah, sometimes
amazing
I do, sometimes I
introduction.
don't. I think it's much. Yeah, it's pretty.
This
It's,
is usually when you start a movie with like a monologue, right? If you're gonna do something a little bit like mystical or whimsical, like for like a for you're supposed to introduce themes right into the movie, but I guess the theme that she introduced was sometimes I have a hard time remembering things, but usually I'm okay.
sometimes I don't, but sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
Which is a very important theme in this movie, because clearly the writers and directors forgot a lot of things.
Well,
Dude, okay, so that's
Number
okay.
one-
That's so they start with this theme, right? So I guess the theme that you can kind of like get from the entire opening sequence is that you're not supposed to
Don't
cheat.
cheat. Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
the
that-
whole, that's the
Tell the
ending
truth.
of the like. That's after the whole. I mean, an 8-year-old goes into like the Paralympics with not the Paralympics.
The American Ninja Warrior
Yeah, it was
Themyscira
like
Yeah.
edition.
like the Super Olympics is what I wanted to say. Like, you know, like these like ultimate like trials that these Amazonian women train for years and years, and her coach, again, remember, Gal Gadot is 8 in this sequence. And so for years and years, these people train and train and train. And then the coach kneels down to this 8-year-old who's going to go toe to toe with these like seasoned athletes that are like part of a
Something
warrior
like-
tribe.
This kid is gonna go up against all these fucking grown
And
women.
she's like,
The answer is yes.
she's like,
Mhm.
you know, don't be disappointed if you can't keep up with them. And you're like, oh, okay, maybe because she's like Princess Diana, like they're just like they're letting her have like a little laugh, like she's, you know, she can run the course.
Yeah,
with
she's gonna
them.
run 10 feet and eat shit is what should have happened. Right?
She's an 8-year-old girl, and she handedly has the lead
Yeah.
for the entire. They're like jumping through hoops and like climbing ladders, and there's like one scene where like
They shoot the arrows through the all the different color powdery things in the
freaking
air.
On horseback and
a log on a chain comes hurtling at her, and then she like goes prone, and it like takes out other athletes behind her, and she like runs and dives off a cliff into like the water, and then
Dude,
she
it's
swims
like
half a
100
mile
feet.
to shore,
Yeah,
easily beating all the other women who have also
yeah.
They've been training their whole lives at this point, and she's just an 8-year-old kicking
Mhm.
ass.
She's an
Mhm.
Taking
8-year-old
names.
I
who
actually
really would have won. Who really probably would have won if she didn't just eat it randomly
Yeah.
on a
Oh,
tree
she was
branch.
She hit a
like-
tree.
it was hubris.
and that's
She
what
was
takes her
like,
out.
I
Yeah.
can't believe how good I am at this, and she looks back, and then a tree branch knocks her off her horse.
Like, you know, Blazing Saddles or
I-
something.
And
That's
she
what's-
still makes it. She still gets into the lead.
It's
she
still
like,
ridiculous. What's ridiculous about this whole thing, and not just an 8-year-old doing it, but all the rest of everybody doing it, is also telling us like, you know, just do the best you can and stuff. Nobody's having a hard time in this thing. Nobody's
true.
having a hard time. No one is straining. No one's having it rough. I mean, Diana ran 10 miles through the woods to start, and she's not even
That's
tired.
true.
Yeah.
Right? She fucking ran there. Right? But
Yeah.
I'm telling you, everyone's just like it's nobody. No one's straining. No one's having a hard
Yeah.
time.
and,
All the people in the audience are clapping and whooping, and I'm like, you guys have probably seen this 10,000 times at this point.
and
Why
I do
isn't
want to
anyone
point
impressed?
out too.
Everybody in the
like,
audience is probably gonna do the same thing because
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
Amazonians.
so
no one should be
people-
impressed by this. It's so
People
dumb.
may try to defend this scene by saying like, "Oh, she's got the blood of who was it? Artemis or something? Like some Greek
Hera.
god? Hera.
I don't know. I don't
no,
even
her,
know
her
anymore.
dad, well, anyways, it was
Oh,
like a big
okay.
reveal that
I'm
her
going
dad
off
was an
the
ancient
topic.
god from like Greek mythology, I think.
Yeah.
At the end of the first movie, so like, I mean,
Oh yeah, you're right.
maybe you could argue that well, she's got this blood in her or whatever, so she's like, of course she's overpowered even compared to Amazonian women, which would be fine, except that it was a huge surprise to her at the end of the first movie to find out that she had this god's blood. It was a huge plot point. So the
Yeah.
idea that like that she had grown up her whole life just being naturally unbelievable at
Yeah.
everything that she did physically.
And I like how
Wouldn't,
her
like-
teachers.
Well, the thing is, although the thing is, she's not that good in the first movie because we see her in the first movie in Themyscira, and
Mhm.
she kind of like, I mean, she's not bad, but she definitely gets beaten a bunch by other Amazonian women.
Right. They make it seem
You know
like
what I'm saying?
she's a trainee in learning.
Like
because
she's
the
a
first
trainee
movie
or
was
whatever.
good.
But when she was 8, she probably could have kicked all their asses, probably. And
That
then
makes no sense. That makes no sense.
It's,
She
um,
devolved.
she
Yeah.
devolved. Yeah.
Right? She started off as
Well,
a complete
actually,
That
I
badass.
just-
8-year-old from this
I just
movie
figured it out.
probably
I
could have
figured it
kicked
out.
those ladies' asses.
I figured it out. She starts this sequence by saying, sometimes I can't remember and sometimes I can. It turns out she just doesn't actually remember. She was like, yeah, I remember. I was a total badass. And I only lost because my coach made me not do it. And that's why I wasn't able to. She's just like complete. That's the only explanation, is that she's completely misremembered how that actual race went for her, including
And
all of the.
And how did they know she cheated? They're like 100 miles away. Remember that? Like when they get up on
Oh,
the beach. and
because she
stuff like that?
didn't shoot an arrow into the last.
Oh.
Yeah, I
indicator.
didn't catch that the first time either, but when I rewatched it today, I realized the only reason they knew is because And the only reason it really matters is because she didn't actually shoot her arrow into all the powdery blue things.
Yeah, if she had just like grabbed her arrow and shot the powdery blue thing and then took the slide, which was
Yeah.
convenient.
Nice slide, right?
No one would be
Slide
the
doing that.
wiser.
It's like, hey, can
You
we
dumb.
again for just a moment? The way that you finished the race, by the way, was to hurl a javelin like 100 meters across this yard
Nobody's
and
getting
like
through that
300 meters up. Like this thing, it's into like a circle, and so you hurl
It's
this javelin.
ridiculously far away for even Amazonians.
And this 8-year-old girl is holding a full-size javelin and like, like she's gonna throw a javelin, fucking, you know.
She's gonna do it. Yeah, and then she gets stuffed by her mom or something.
Yeah, I like how
weird.
her teachers the entire time are like watching this entire thing, and they're like, "Oh my god!" Like she is beating the shit out of these other people, and they're just watching, and then she gets to the end and like, but you cheated though,
Yeah, I
so
was
we're not
so
going to
mad the
question
first
how
time
you
I
got
watched
through
it.
all
I was
that
so
with
mad
not
for
breaking a
Diana.
sweat.
I was like,
It's like,
"You
what?
bitch."
You know,
She
listen,
outsmarted
this
them.
is how
Yeah.
this is how it happens in the real world. You let the 8-year-old win.
Ah.
Let 'em
Well,
think
no,
they
you
won.
can't say that because after they pulled her aside, the girl who was handedly getting her ass kicked the whole time chucks her javelin and it goes through, and she's like, yes, yes. And it's like, if I was her, I'd be like, I don't even feel good about this. I was getting my ass kicked by an 8-year-old this entire time.
Yeah, she wasn't even sweating hard.
Yeah, and she's happy that she beat an 8-year-old. Yeah.
This is
She, like,
lose. This is lose.
Kicks
lose,
Diana down, spits in her face. She's like,
Yeah.
eat it.
Suck it, kid.
You thought you could win?
Where's your
But
daddy
I
now,
actually-
huh?
I thought they could actually I thought they could save this scene somewhat. Definitely they ruined like the continuity of the universe and everything like that, but I thought they might be able to save this scene by having Chitara be one of these Amazonians who was jealous
Who's
of
that?
Oh, you thought
Uh,
the cheetah. You thought cheetah would be like a
Oh, cheetah,
an
yeah, Chitara.
Amazonian.
Yeah, I thought maybe because I knew they had the same powers. I thought maybe she would like be one of the Amazonians, and like she got her ass kicked in this race by an 8-year-old, and it was like always a grudge that she had, and so that's why. I think I was
Whoa,
like,
whoa. That sounds like a pretty interesting movie right there.
Yeah, I was gonna
You
say,
better shut your mouth.
That would have been a better story than the one they told.
I
Yeah.
mean, especially
Story?
because at the end of the movie, it's revealed that Amazonians have survived and can live just as long as Diana, and it's not really that big of a deal.
There's a
So-
huge problem with that, of course.
But
More
we
like
can
this
we can take our time. We can
Yeah.
take our juicy time getting to the end
Oh
of this
my god,
movie.
this
This is what happens though when the director is allowed to write the film and she's not a writer.
Is that what it
that's
was?
Yeah.
That's exactly what happens. So the original movie had 3 writers, I think, or something.
Mhm.
And I went back. So I did a reverse sort. I mean, I saw the original Wonder Woman when it came out, and I liked it. It was good movie. It's like whatever.
I
It's
want
good
to say
enough.
that I thought it was a phenomenal movie. Like it was it was just really good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I enjoyed it. I still think it's like all these goddamn movies are half an hour too long. They need to chop these motherfuckers down. 2
Yeah, sure.
hours, man. All of them. I didn't even care the good ones. We got to get back then in 2 hours. This is crazy. But so I watched this when it came out on Christmas Day. And then I went back and watched the first one. And then I realized how much better the first one was than this piece of shit. Like the first one actually had
Yeah,
a pretty good
it's-
story.
yeah.
Made sense. It was fun to watch. But yeah, the director was kind of like, yeah, go make the second one. And she went to the Robert Rodriguez Spy Kids School of writing. Because that's
It
exactly
does feel
what
that
this
way.
is.
It feels like
writing.
it actually
This
feels
is
like a
fucking
kids movie.
Spy Kids 3.
I was gonna say, yeah, it
and it's what it
the-
feels like with the terrible fucking dialogue, terrible
Yeah.
writing.
Well, it's
yeah,
not even that. It's like the way that it's actually shot too.
Yeah.
It's like it's weird because there's some serious, and this is the problem I think just on a whole with movies, that there's some serious stuff that they try to deal with. Like, I don't know, sexual assault is just like a casual thing that gets thrown around a couple of times in the movie. But like from the perspective of like, oh, maybe they were targeting like a kid audience, it's like even worse because it's like, what are you doing? Putting like
everything.
Well, it
Yeah.
was, yeah, it's not just a kids audience thing. So here's the thing. I think the first movie probably has the best tone of any of these DC movies. Anyway,
Absolutely.
I would
Right?
agree with that.
it has the best overall tone of any of them, and so you would have thought that the follow-up Wonder Woman movie would like the one thing they would need to nail is good tone because the last one is the only one that has that.
Besides
instead-
sorry, go ahead.
It feels like the opening scene in the 80s with the dudes driving in the Pontiac
Oh.
and almost hitting the lady.
Oh, yeah,
all
this
that
is- yeah,
shit
this
in
is
the
right
mall,
after the-
right in the heist. That happens
Oh my
right
god,
after.
the heist. That's
it
right. That
feels
felt
like a Sam Raimi movie all of a sudden. It feels like Spider-Man, like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie, but really bad.
it
like
feels like
not
Shazam.
executed well.
Is it Shazam?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Shazam.
With
but
Zach
it's
Braff?
hokier than Shazam.
Yeah,
it's
can we?
hokier than
Hokey.
Shazam.
It's
It's
like
way
this-
hokier and it's way campier.
There's a
it's
problem
like-
with all this.
It's like
Okay, go ahead.
Spider-Man, you know, when he's like whipping through New York and he's like saving people along the way to get to the robbery in progress, and he's like, some kid's falling and he like shoots a web and she like falls into the nice little bit. Like they tried to do a little version of that in this with
Yeah.
the teddy bear in the mall
Oh, that's right.
with
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
kid. Like they tried to do that sort of, oh, it's like we're very self-aware that this is a comic book movie, and so we're gonna make it really comic booky. But it's really bad. The villain, the first robber guy in the beginning, he's like, no, don't even think about
They're
it.
over the
man."
top. They're over
Yeah.
the top.
He
I
goes
was
into
They're
the
comical,
back
yeah.
there.
area.
I was there in
and he sees-
'84. The '80s
Yeah.
didn't look this '80s.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now.
That's the fucking problem with all this shit. I hate when people are like, they make a period piece and they're like, we're in the period piece in the
Yes.
time frame. Like,
It was very
this is the
self-aware.
80s. Remember the 80s? This is what it
Very
was
self-aware.
like. And then they
I
show you all
actually-
these things like, we're gonna go to the mall. And it's like, can we
It's the
stop,
80s.
please?
Yeah.
Good
I think
Lord.
it would have been fine if they had
Beat
like,
you over the head with it.
Well, I feel like if you're gonna like go that route, then like you need to do it. Well, first of all, it needs to feel clever and like that you're like really doing it on purpose. Because the way
It was
that
a
they did
gimmick. There was
it didn't
no
even
reason.
feel like
to
a gimmick. It felt like they didn't know how to set dress.
But you know what I'm saying? The
Exactly.
reason why they didn't know how to set dress is because it was a gimmick. The film had no reason to take place in the 80s. Could have taken place in the 50s or taken
Yeah.
60s, 70s. It didn't matter. They did it as a gimmick, right?
Mhm.
And if you do it as a gimmick, then it doesn't work. Then it feels like a gimmick because that's exactly what the fuck it was. But yeah, everything was over the top. The over the top villains, the 80s villains, the jewelry store in the mall being a front
For
What?
for
what?
For
But
artifacts?
remember
Like, what are you
Artifacts?
doing?
Artifact
you
thing.
kidding me with
And
this
then he
shit?
finds it. He's like, ha, ha, he starts laughing to himself. He
Yeah.
does this thing when he finds it. He goes,
Oh yeah, that's right. He's
Yeah.
like throws his head back.
It's over the
just
top
the
ridiculous.
most
He was
dumb.
just-
cameo
it's like-
shit ever.
It's like what video game characters do when you give them like a sprite animation.
And why
Yeah.
does okay? So Diana or Wonder Woman throws that girl in the teddy bear,
yeah.
yeah.
winks, and then
right.
shh, what is all that?
What?
Why?
Oh,
Whose
yeah.
identity are you
there?
saving? This
And she takes her tiara off and it hit. She throws it at just the right angle and bounces off
Yeah.
the camera, and then the other one, and then the other one.
Well, that's what's funny because the
Yeah.
first movie,
Oh.
again, like I said, watching it right after I saw the second one, the first one felt. I get it's a comic book movie and all that shit, but it still felt like it was based in some kind of reality.
Yeah.
Felt
And
grounded.
it felt real as far as a comic book movie goes. You
Oh,
know what
for
I mean?
sure.
Yeah.
And this was just fucking ridiculous, man. This was the Phantom Menace of
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
Wonder Woman
It's just
movies.
just hokey. Well, the problem I am not a fan of DC. I really am not. I think DC has the cheesiest, hokiest superheroes ever. Even Superman. I've always thought that Superman was kind
Except for
of dumb.
Batman.
Except for Batman.
They feel so
and his,
different.
well, Batman's whole universe is really
Batman's universe is the best thing that DC has
is
ever
weird.
done and ever will do, and they need to stop because Wonder
weird.
Woman itself has the lasso of truth. Are you kidding me? And she's a main player. Like,
There,
oh my
yeah,
god,
and it's all remnants from a time where that
this-
stuff made
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
for comic
It's like
books.
they never
Because it
got
was
out of the
kids'
golden
stuff.
age of comic books.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like DC
the
feels like
lasso
it
is
never got
also
out
this
of that,
weird,
except for
like,
Batman.
It's like this weirdly overpowered thing that doesn't
Become the
have
lasso of
clearly
anything.
Defined.
Yeah.
It's the
Like, it has
lasso
no-
that
the
does
lasso
things.
of justice.
She like it's
Stupid.
also how she flies and
Yeah,
it
look.
can extend
Oh, that scene was
Oh my
incredible.
God. and
Hold on, fuck you guys. Steve Trevor, she just renounced her wish. She's a little mad. She's a little upset. Okay, people fly when they get that hurt.
all right.
Right?
Well,
They
so first
lasso
we have to introduce
jet planes.
So basically,
Dude, if I could fly with, if I was depressed, then fuck medication, man.
Dude,
You're
serious.
flying everywhere.
what a
You don't need
beautiful-
medication,
What
you
a
gotta
beautiful moment.
lasso.
So
Yeah.
basically, the whole plot of the movie is that there's this magical stone that's made out of fake rock or whatever, and
Because they couldn't get real rock.
The fucking
and it
wishing
grants
stone.
wishes. And so this like really lame ditzy girl whose name is Barbara Kristen Wiig, like takes the stone and then she's like, I wish I was just like Gal Gadot, and then unknowingly
I
becomes
think that's what she said.
and then
She
becomes
turns into the actress.
But
she becomes
She joins the IDF.
Wonder Woman. She has the
I
same
wish I
powers
was an
as Wonder
Israeli
Woman.
supermodel. Or whatever.
Yeah.
A little known fact: the stone was real, and that was Kirsten Wiig. It actually true wish. Everything you saw was they just were filming the whole time.
Well,
but-
really quick. I just want to point out stuff that I hated about this movie too, like when she's walking in, ha, 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 I'm Kristen Wiig, ha, 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 I'm playing myself, and then she, drums papers everyone, everyone's like,
Yeah.
just walking by. It's like, fuck you, movie. Somebody
Yeah.
would have helped her pick that shit up. It
Yes.
It
just,
was weird how
Again,
much
it,
people.
just over the top
it reminds
ridiculous.
me of the bullies from the first Spider-Man movie, but
Yeah.
worse. Like, they're kind of over the top. Like
It-
Flash Thompson.
it's
is
good that
like-
you point that out actually, because now that I'm thinking about it, and I love the first Spider-Man film, but it barely pulls it off, right?
Yes,
Barely.
It barely
rides the
pulls it
super
off.
line.
campy. Yeah.
It rides that
it's
line.
so close. They're like, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but they barely pull it off. Where
Mhm.
this movie goes the next step further and doesn't pull it off.
Yeah, and
Especially
it's
again,
too
like I said,
much.
going back to the first film, which was really well done and felt so based in reality. And David Thewlis in it as
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Terrible bad guy though.
Yeah,
But,
he was
yeah.
a
I mean,
terrible
yeah,
guy.
and
Yeah.
the first movie
But-
was so much more serious than the first 30 minutes of this movie that it's like,
Yeah.
it's like whiplash if you're thinking that you're going into something that will be similar, which is weird that you would think that, considering it's a sequel and everything. But like I mean, the crux of the movie is that magical stone, and then basically what happens is that like oil baron McGee played by
What?
Pedro Pascal.
He's
has
a
been
very
studying-
important character, but not in this movie.
Yeah. he decides that he's gonna take the stone and become it basically.
Become the stone.
Somehow he knows this. Like I guess he studied the stone. Like while
This
you
is
were-
Turn
literally-
into a fucking rock.
while you were talking to girls, I was studying the rock.
Stuttling.
That's what I
Stumbling.
thought was gonna happen. I really don't know why, but I thought I want to become the stone. I thought when he said that, I was like, oh, he's gonna be a rock.
It's gonna
He
be a
should've
rock
gone-
with that stupid wig.
In the
We should have
suit.
gone. It should have been a rock with a suit on and a wig.
That would have
That's what
been
it should have
amazing.
been. That's exactly what it should have happened.
And it just shows up menacingly, and people are like, "Oh, Pedro Pascal!" And it's just a rock sitting there.
You're like, is that the Mandalorian?
We have to stop him.
Yeah.
Stuttling. Oh man,
Stuttling.
that's my new
Oh,
favorite
God.
word.
So he was studying the rock while other people were talking to girls or whatever.
It's really.
Is that what happened? I don't
And
even
never,
remember that.
ever name your child Alistair and say it 1,000 times. I swear to God, he
Oh.
said Alistair 47 billion times. in
And that
series.
kid the entire time just
you know,
because he couldn't
Mhm.
act, He's
You know,
got a
Gal
cardboard
Gadot,
box to
let's-
act.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. Gal Gadot totally phoned it in too, and I know she
It
can
was-
act better
Dude.
than
It was
that.
weird that
Her
she wasn't
performance was
really-
Pretty
hold on.
wooden.
This is bad writing, right? Bad
Yes.
dialogue. Because
Mhm.
think about Natalie Portman, amazing actress. Padme Amidala, some of the worst. fucking
Yeah.
acting.
Oh, hold
That's
on
a
a
good
second.
comparison.
What are you
Actually,
talking
that's a
about?
totally good
The,
comparison.
the tears
Star
in
Wars.
episode 3. You're going a place I can't follow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Such good
But-
acting.
but you gotta
I
remember,
thought she
too,
did a
that-
great job.
With George Lucas, he's known for his direction of just more, more intensely. Do it more intensely, or whatever he says. He doesn't. He's not a director.
Well, and you have to get the neck, Dad.
director.
The Lucas neck. you
Yeah.
gotta-
Right. So it's like if
More.
you don't, because it's funny. Really quickly about that. That didn't take long to start talking about Star Wars. If you go back and watch the original auditions for like Luke and stuff like that, compared to the other people that were coming in, like William Cat and everything, I mean, fucking Mark Hamill nails it. Because he just plays it earnestly. So he came in being the character writer, so George didn't have to direct him per se. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense?
He got lucky, kind
He
of.
got lucky.
I mean,
and,
Harrison
and
Ford
shows
is
people
pretty
that
similar, right? He was just like a curmudgeonly janitor that like
Yeah.
they told him to read these lines and he just read them as he would.
he was the guy that he was just reading the sides right for everybody, and then he ended up being the right fit. Carrie Fisher, same thing. When you watch all the other people that were reading the lines, and then she comes in and she just nails it right in the audition. So it's like, okay, cool. I don't have to direct. I don't have to direct her. She'll just say the words, and I just say more, or whatever he does. So that's part of the
More.
problem too. Some actors need a director that can direct.
Yeah.
As an
That
actor's
makes sense
director,
actually because
and he's not.
yeah.
So
I mean,
Natalie
Ewan
Portman's
McGregor
amazing.
actually did. Ewan McGregor must have done the exact same thing because he actually is.
Yeah.
He comes across as very
Mhm.
genuine in the
Very
prequels.
genuine. It comes. He's a really good. But some actors need they need a director who can tell them how to.
And that's probably what this movie may have been lacking too. Then because I mean it's the writing is pretty bad, but I didn't. The dialogue itself didn't stand out to me. There was a lot of moments that were like really just like tone deaf, I guess. Like
There's
Yeah.
a very
the
important
wink
one.
to the kid, for example. It was just like,
Well,
do you
it
know
makes
what
no
kind
sense.
of movie this is? Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Can we talk about the most important one? Because I really want to talk about this.
Yeah.
So the most important wooden acting moment, and it makes no fucking sense, is when what's his face gets reincarnated. Fucking
Pine?
Chris
Does he?
Pine.
Oh,
Does he?
Oh god,
fuck
dude.
happened?
So basically,
That was a
Diana.
really weird.
Diana, yeah, we're getting to it. So Diana wishes that he was alive again, and
After
so
the guy wishes for coffee.
so
Fucking stupid.
yeah, and then
I wish I had a
Except she
coffee.
doesn't- She doesn't.
Oh, I have this extra
verbalize
coffee.
her wish,
Oh,
which is
fucking-
weird because
Mhm.
it's like
Yeah.
the rules of the wishes don't really make a lot of sense. Like
Listen, The
sometimes you have to
Rock-
verbalize
yeah.
it. Sometimes you could just be like her and like stare at it longingly, and
And
then
you know what
Yeah.
you would wish for. and
sometimes
the
you can
wind
be the
blows.
Rock.
yeah.
It's
Maybe
literally
that's why.
it's
So
it's-
that maybe that. Go ahead, explain what's going on.
Hold on, I'm
Maybe
getting-
that's why he was in a different body or something.
No, there's
If
a
you
whole
thought the
bunch of
wish.
no. There's things. So I mean, the entire "I wish I was the Rock" thing is basically I wish for infinite wishes from a genie, right?
sure.
That's why they have that rule.
He became a genie,
Yeah, but
a rock genie.
Rock genie. So she wishes that Chris Pine was alive. I mean, who wouldn't? And so
I wish that Chris
his
Pine was alive.
yeah, and so he comes in and I don't know the fucking characters' names. It's not important.
Steve
So-
Austin or whatever his name
Steve
is.
It is
Steve Martin.
yeah.
Steve.
Martin.
Steve.
Stephen Hawking comes back from the dead.
I literally
And
have this whole
he
thing of
inhabits
Trevor.
this body, okay? This
Stephen
random
Hawking
dude.
would have been a really good part of the movie. Imagine he comes in.
Diana, it's been too long.
He's like,
But
no,
he
would,
comes
he
in-
would be like, he would be like all human and shit, and he'd be like, I can walk, I can talk, I can sing, and then someone would be like, tell me about quantum physics, and he'd be like, oh shit, the stone took all my science prowess away.
Yeah, he got monkey pod right. So that's
Yeah,
a-
that
Exactly,
was apparently.
yeah.
I mean, Chris Pine somehow figures that out. He's like, "Oh, the stone. It says
So
here in the
anyways-
script that it takes away
Yeah.
your favorite thing."
So anyways, explain
So we're
Steve
getting
Austin
to it.
or whatever his name is.
So yeah, so he basically wishes his spirit back onto Earth or something, and then it needs a body to inhabit, so it just inhabits this random dude.
It just
That's-
Poor
steals
bastard.
this guy's body.
Yeah, it
and
steals
his
this guy's
life,
body and
nobody
life.
asks any questions.
And nobody cares. Nobody
it's
cares
like-
that this dude just doesn't exist for like 3 months.
Listen, if you had a guy back that you've been pining over since World War One,
Chris
would
Pine.
you care?
No,
Nice.
that's not what I'm
It-
saying though. There's
no,
no,
I'm just-
moment where there's like a freaking like a frail old woman that's like, "My Trevor, I've been looking for you," and like Chris Pine's like, "Get away from me, lady! I've got people
Well,
to save."
the whole thing's ridiculous.
Hold
All
on.
they had to do.
I
She
still-
wishes
we're-
back for Steve Trevor.
Hold on, I'm
All
getting
you had
there.
to do is walk to the door.
Yeah,
right?
but hold on, I'm getting there. So this is the
Okay.
best part. This
ahead,
is in the
go ahead.
movie. I mean, the movie had me lost, but I was watching it because this is the perfect good bad movie in my opinion because it is of like the modern age.
Okay.
So he walks in, Chris Pine, with this new body, dude, and then walks in through the door, sees Diana, and they have this amazing magical moment where nobody fucking questions where this guy has been for the past 60 years, and they just embrace. It's like really, that's your reaction after not having seen this person for
They-
60
They, like,
years?
cut
You're
the
just like,
scene
this
where
makes
she
sense.
Figured out it was the stone. Did you notice that? Suddenly, it's like one scene. She's like, "Chris Pine, you're back," and then the next day when they wake up in bed together, she's like, "We've got to get rid of that stone."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the
Ugh.
audience is very confused too at this point. I was.
I was.
Yeah,
I was like,
we
does
already
she
had it.
know?
We're
Like,
not
they
going
didn't
to
explain
talk
it
about
fast
this.
enough.
It's
Yeah.
weird. It wasn't hard. All he had to do was be reincarnated
Yeah.
as Steve Trevor. It's not hard. It's
Why
not
do you-
hard.
Why do you
Because
think
it
he's gonna
doesn't
have it
matter
so
that he
bad?
took over this other dude's body because nobody cares that the
made
other
no
dude is
s-
gone. Nobody
made no
knows
sense.
who that is. It doesn't make
Like-
any sense. No one's like,
like,
wait,
like-
you look a lot like some other
Like,
dude.
they're
You're
like,
not
let's
Chris
make it
Pine.
more complicated. Like, hey, how are we going to bring Steve Trevor back? Oh, we can wish him back. What, he's just going to walk through the room? Yeah, that's fine. No. That's too weird that he just would walk in the room. Let's make it inhabit some other guy's body. Like,
They
what
were.
the
It was.
fuck?
I actually realized that it was a writing trick. There was a couple things that they probably wanted to like make sure were resolved, like the fact that he had a wardrobe, and little things like that. Right. They had a shopping
hear what
scene
you're
in
saying.
the first movie, so they were like, we can't have another shopping scene. That would
Yeah,
be too much.
I hear what you're saying, but that's still he could have just
Oh, it
come
was
back wearing
absolutely
the clothes he was
stupid.
wearing that he crashed in.
Yeah.
that he
it was
exploded in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
goofy.
I'm sitting there going something like, so you're trying to tell me this bitch has been pining for this dude for 60 fucking years? Fuck you, movie. She would have been
Also
way
that
over this fucking
She knew
guy.
him for
Yeah.
a week.
Dude, at most,
Oh,
they
that's
banged
right.
once and he flew off and died. That's not 60
been
years
alone
worth
ever
of holding
since.
on. I mean,
been alone.
that's some amazing dick, right? To hold on to
Yeah.
that for
Dude.
60 fucking years.
Hey, Chris Pine's
Yeah.
pretty hot, dude.
Well, he's a
okay?
handsome guy.
You know,
I wouldn't kick
yeah.
him out of bed.
She
But it's
basically goes
very odd that that's
goes-
Very
their
odd.
loose
Chris Pine
explanation.
It's actually-
to Ben Affleck.
It's a
And
little
there's 100 years
regressive.
between the two.
It's a little regressive for a movie, right? Or for a movie that's supposed to champion like powerful independent women, is that like this woman has put her entire life on hold.
Well, yeah.
Because-
Yeah.
The
It's
dude
okay.
that dicked her down one time fucking exploded. It's not exactly a testament to like, I don't know, strong,
You
powerful
go,
women.
girl.
She still has his watch in her living room next to a
Yeah.
picture. Like, dude, World War One. Move
The
on,
80s.
bitch.
Okay,
they
wait.
make it-
We're
they
getting.
really let you know
I
she's
there's
alone
yeah.
Oh yeah.
with the.
Well-
Oh, are you waiting on for someone? She's like down in this whole bottle, kind of like Danon.
And then
Except I'm good. Okay.
And she's
I'm
like,
good.
no.
it was a
Whatever.
weird thing to like show Wonder Woman down on her luck, and like the things that make Wonder Woman down on her luck is eating at a 5-star restaurant by herself and also
Yeah.
not getting the taxi.
And working it, yeah, which is bullshit too. That taxi would have run that fucking guy over to pick up Gal Gadot, right? Like, fuck you, movie. That she's like this, and all of a sudden, like, no, I'm gonna pick up the guy instead. See you later, honey. It's like, fuck you. You would have run that
Yeah.
guy over. Like, you just killed the man. Yeah, have you seen you? I'm picking you up, baby. And then off they go. This is dumb.
Oh my God.
But hold on. There's a very
Sorry.
there's a point here I wanted to make. And so when he walks into this gala or whatever that the Smithsonian, I also want to talk
right.
about why the hell she's been working at the Smithsonian for so long.
There's so many
Walks
problems.
in and
How
she
has he managed to
doesn't
work at
question
the
it. And they
Smithsonian
have
for
this
6 years?
yeah, we're getting there. Don't worry. I have a whole tirade, dude, okay? Not only that, but
realize
she works there for another 40 years until the events of the fucking next movie happen,
Yeah.
you know? So anyways,
Oh, yeah.
She's
so
just
anyways,
offing
hold
people
on.
that
She's killing it.
clearly has no problem with murder in this movie.
Just clears out the Smithsonian every 10 years of its employees.
that scene with
They've been asking
Cheetah where
questions.
she's like, fine, you won't listen to me? Then I'll kill you.
Okay, hold on. We're getting there.
Anyways,
We're getting there.
Dana's
Okay.
got a point to make, I think.
I'm trying. I have references. So when Chris Pine walks back into the gala or whatever the hell's
Yeah.
going on, and she doesn't question it until like 2 hours later when they're walking hand in hand, she's like, "So how are you back? How is this real?" Like, what the reaction that she has is unbelievable. It's ridiculous. Like if
It is really
like
weird, yeah.
this dude after 60 years of being dead blows up by driving a nuke into the sky, comes walking back in, and she's
It
just
was like a poison
"Oh
bomb.
my god, I haven't seen you in
What's
so
the
long."
nuke, Dana? Don't be ridiculous.
That was
I
Captain
don't know.
America, man.
I don't know,
Batman.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
think
know.
that might. You're right. That could be the most hollow.
that was like the
There was one time
performance.
to go overboard with the emotions to really sell
You have
this
to.
big.
There's
thing,
two ways they could have done
This
that.
love
yeah.
of your life.
Especially because she's
You
at a
haven't
gala
seen.
where people clearly know who she is, and then the
Yeah.
stranger walks in off of the street in a sweaty leather jacket and in a gala, and she's like, she just got hit on by 3 dudes prior to this, and then she's like, oh my god, Steve, and she's like making out with him in the middle of the dance floor, like at a fancy event at her job.
It is Chris Pine.
Yeah,
It's Chris
dude.
Pine.
It wasn't even a Christmas party. That's when you're kind of
Yes.
allowed to cut loose.
Mhm.
You
There
know,
was nobody
and
that was
photocopy
like,
your apps
wait
and
a
things
minute.
like
Gonna
that.
get reported to HR
But-
for that.
But
Yeah.
so on the offhand, you know, something that did it completely well was actually season 3 of Sherlock. So season 2 of Sherlock. I'm sorry for any spoilers, but he dies. He dies, and so
Yeah.
Martin Freeman, who's Dr. Watson, sees him die, and basically buries him and goes through the grieving process for months and months and months. And then you pick up in season 3, and Sherlock's alive, and he has to like get Dr. Watson's help again, and so he like reintroduces himself. But the way that they do that is so perfect because Dr. Watson like hates him immediately from the beginning. Like, how could you make me go
Yeah.
through that? Like all this stuff, freaks out, tries to strangle him like 3 different times. And he is not on good terms with Sherlock for the entire first episode, and it takes a long time into the second episode to get that trust back and like to get used to having your friend who you thought was dead back, you know. And so that
Well, but he knows he trick. This is different though, right?
it's, I mean, it's slightly different. I mean, it's a trick,
did
and
he
he knows
trick
it's a
them? He
trick.
knew- he
Yeah,
know that he
But
tricked them.
the-
you know that he
I
lied
guess
to
the
him, but even
point
still,
is
the
that,
point is like the
Diana
reaction.
should not have just been like, oh, sweet, you're back. Let's make out.
60 years.
Exactly, 60 years.
with a
Liz
guy that
Liz
she
is saying
barely knew.
excuse me. Liz is saying excuse me. Go ahead, Liz. I'll read your comment.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, she hasn't typed it yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, we'll
But-
wait for her. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
well, I'll sit here.
Yeah.
quietly.
Just kidding.
But again, this is one of those things. Yeah, this is one of those things that would have been easy to do. All you had to do was materialize, and all you had to do was you wearing the shit that he blew up in. It would have been so fucking easy.
Yeah.
And you're done.
Because
Easy
then
as
you
fuck.
as the audience
Yeah.
would have been like, oh, he's back
It's
from the
Steve
dead.
Trevor. We
No,
wanted
no.
him back anyways, right?
Yeah.
No
Mhm.
one would have fucking cared.
No.
But when you make this weird shit, now we care because you're like, this doesn't make any
because-
fucking sense.
The only reason you would do that is to like be able to maintain the rules of the universe, which would be all fine and dandy, except that like when things start going, they steal
Oh,
a jet
I spoiled Sherlock.
from
I'm sorry.
oh, you
You
spoiled
spelled
it.
Sherlock for
That's why
somebody?
It's a very old
for
show.
Liz,
I'm
right?
sorry.
Dude, it's
Sorry,
been out
Liz.
for fucking years.
Sorry,
they
Liz.
steal,
Watch
they
it. So
steal
good.
a jet from the Smithsonian,
Amazing.
and there's even a scene where Chris Pine is having
That's
trouble
fueled.
figuring out how to fly it. Oh no,
There's
th-
fuel
and
in
he-
that jet that sits
enough
in a museum.
to get them to Egypt.
Egypt. Somebody
From
promised this movie.
Smithsonian.
So-
a fucking like F-32.
Maybe I'm wrong, but the Smithsonian has fully fueled. You know how many maintenance people it would take to have a ready, fully fueled jet to fly to fucking
Yeah.
Egypt at the Smithsonian that
And
you can just
that'll
unlock with your key card?
Pilot can figure out.
Well, let's start with that. So ridiculous right off the top.
Yeah.
Smithsonian has jets you can fly away. Steve Trevor,
That's
who
cool.
last flew a fucking, flying fortress or whatever.
B-52. Yeah.
he
Those
just
had to be
flies this thing
like-
it's nothing.
A
Takes
World
it off.
War One pilot.
Yeah, I think those have to be
Fucking
push
World War
started.
One pilot.
World War One pilot.
He can
It's
fly
not
a
even a
jet.
B-52. It's a fucking. It's
Yeah.
like some cargo
Yeah.
plane.
And then she made a coffee cup disappear 10 years ago. But and now, right?
He's flying an
I think I can
invisible
make
plane. How
the
do you
jet
fly
disappear.
a plane where you don't know the? It's
the-
like
And they actually
Fucking
go
controls.
through the effort of saying that radar is a thing.
Yeah. I really wish. I really wish they just made the
Ugh.
plastic jet like the old 70s TV show. Because the old 70s TV show was they made this giant plastic. It was like this big, big plastic jet.
Like a
And then they just
transparent plastic.
Yeah, but it was like it was like clear plastic, and they just park her ass in it, and they'd show a wide shot, and they'd fucking shake it around, and blow some smoke over it. And you're like, well, this is stupid. But it still made more sense than this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially because
Well,
she
she
never
doesn't
thinks
even
that
need to-
stealth is useful ever again.
Yeah.
And
You
she
have to
doesn't
go
need a
turn
jet.
things invisible.
How do they land this motherfucker?
She flies. She doesn't even need a jet. The
she
jet
even
is just for
says
Chris
radar.
Hold on, fuck you, Jeremy. She does not fly until her heart's broken by losing Steve Trevor
Oh,
again when he has
Doesn't
to go
figure
back
out the
to
magic of
heaven.
flying it.
He's been in heaven, by the way. Because remember, he talks about, well, what happened to you? Well, I was flying an airplane. Next thing you know, I'm in this beautiful place. Can't describe it. and then I woke up in this guy's
No,
bed.
he was actually in Themyscira. He just
That sounds like a
Yeah.
one night stand right there.
Yeah,
Themyscira,
exactly.
whatever. The
And-
mascara. But
And somebody brought up online, and they're not wrong, that this is technically rape when they have sex because the guy didn't give consent.
That is weird.
Right?
Yeah.
Think about it. Think about how weird this is, right?
Gal Gadot.
So Steve, listen, it's not.
Just,
It's,
write
come
your
on,
vote
I'm.
in later, I think.
So-
Yeah, but how would you feel if you woke up and you'd had sex with Gal Gadot and
I
you're
would-
never gonna remember?
I would feel very raped. No, you kidding?
Actually, I would feel a little
Really
bit
quickly.
disconcerted by
We need to move
anybody
on
having
from
sex
this.
with me and then
I
me
would be like,
waking
first
up
of all-
3 months later in the snow.
First of all, I would just-
Deep
yeah.
level.
I would be very, very traumatized. Okay.
First of all, I feel really
Maybe
bad
his
for
first
her.
thought is,
Yeah.
wow, everything's so beautiful.
I'm sorry, Gal Gadot, that you had to climb on top of this. How drunk are you? You know, do you have an egg fetish? What's your deal,
An
girl?
apology.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you had to sleep with me for one. I just start with that. No,
Let's get off of this fantasy, okay?
I know, really quickly though. She is stunning. It's
Yes.
it's hard to. I mean, she's beautiful. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
She's really beautiful. She has that husky voice. God damn it. And I think really quickly, sorry, Liz, or only watch her probably. I think she's hotter now than when she was like 20 or something, when she won the Miss America for Israel or whatever.
Oh,
Miss
yeah, yeah.
Israel, Miss
Mhm.
Falafel or whatever she won. She is hotter now than Miss
pretty
Hero. She's hotter now than when she was back then for sure. But anyways, moving on.
Well,
Yes.
so, and that's all fine and good. And then like there's so they have to go to Egypt because that's where McDougal baron.
Yeah, what's his
You
name?
would
go
He's an
steal some of the
important.
I don't know.
oil guys stop oil. I don't
Yeah,
know.
he like
Yeah.
for some reason he has like infinite power and the ability.
he's
to
Mr.
create
Wish,
infinite
yeah.
wishes, which is a cool power actually. It'd be very interesting if they like explored the idea of that power a little bit more in depth than just I'm gonna grant everybody. I mean, I've seen Bruce Almighty, dude. Granting everybody on the planet's wish is like it's been
Right.
done
Well-
before in a comedy movie. Like
Really quickly
This is
too.
a comedy.
This movie also, this movie is Spy Kids 3 and Spider-Man 3, right? Bad
Yeah.
dialogue, bad cheesy,
Too many
just
villains.
believe in your dreams type dialogue,
Yeah.
and too many fucking villains.
Too many
That's part
villains.
of, part of the problem, because remember Spider-Man 3 was Sandman, we could give a
Mhm.
fuck about. The Red
His
Baron,
story was
what's his
actually
name?
pretty good, I thought.
You had
Well, there's Venom.
Venom,
yeah, Venom,
and then you also had Harry, right?
Yeah, and
Technically
you
the
had
third
the
the red-
Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Why do I keep saying
Mhm.
Red Goblin? But anyways,
Oh,
the
it's Green Goblin is probably what you're
was his dad.
right. Yeah.
So and Harry's red. So but yeah, the Hobgoblin, you're right.
Okay.
So anyways, too many villains, and this movie already has too many villains at two villains. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's part of its problem.
Yeah,
too.
and it was weird. The problem too is that as interesting as Mr. Wish's powers
Mhm.
are, and like I wish there was a movie dedicated to just like exploring like the intricacies of like how cool and like interesting you could use a power that is like I am a genie essentially, but I'm like evil.
yeah,
And selfish, I guess, is his like whole problem. But then like Cheetah also probably could have been a very interesting villain if they had like taken time to develop why she is close with Diana and like they have like a long-term friendship, and then she becomes like Diana and they have a falling out, and like it just like gets worse and worse and worse because of miscommunication. That could also be a pretty interesting it's been told before, but at least it could be interesting.
that's a better movie. Just those two.
Yeah.
That dynamic. It's a way
Well,
better
there-
movie than all this.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
know-
the good part of the movie is when they're trying to figure out what the stone is doing and they're working together.
And they tease you with
Yeah.
it too. There's like scenes where where Gal Gadot, who is just naturally charismatic or whatever, hot, I guess is what the movie's secretly trying to tell you.
It's not a
There's no
secret.
secret. No
Yep.
secret.
She walks into a room.
It's hot.
She walks into a room right
We've
after
unlocked the
Kristen Wiig
mystery.
has like unlocked the ability to be less or more attractive. And then like she gives it this look of like you're stealing the attention.
I've unlocked
I
that
got.
ability.
Yeah, you know how it is. It's like I want these stat points, but she literally gives Gal Gadot like this look, like, "Hey, I'm supposed to be like the center of attention, and now you're taking the center of attention from me, and you don't even know that you're doing it. And that makes me hate you even more." Like they tease you with that and they don't
Yeah.
explore it at all. Instead, they say they ruin the fucking whole premise of Cheetah by saying that the reason that she is like the reason that she has decided to like work for the forces of evil is because the wish took away her ability to be a nice person.
So stupid.
Like that was
Spy
first
Kids.
of all, the wish is
Mhm.
supposed to take away the thing you value most, and it
Yeah.
takes
How
away.
it happened?
That's
don't-
exactly what she
That's
says.
it.
She says,
That's it.
"What has the wish taken from you? You used to be a warm, fuzzy person, and now you're evil and mean." And Kristen Wiig's like, "Yeah, I am, and I'm gonna wear cheetah clothing." And it's just
I
like,
know. I know.
Right.
it's
How
just
about
like,
that really cool foreshadowing though, guys? When
Yeah.
Diana had the fucking kitty cat shoes on, and
I like your
she's like,
shoes.
wow, I
Yeah.
like your shoes. I like kitty cats. It's stupid. You're right. You
Yeah.
get a good point, Ben. Though, like if the movie just fuck Max Lord altogether, that was a stupid character. It's a stupid bad guy. It makes no fucking sense. It should have been about these two, and that's how they fucked this up. Right?
Yeah.
It should have been
Yeah.
about Cheetah and Diana, and we should have seen them become close friends, and then the rift.
Mhm.
Wait, they have dinner
instead,
once.
we got one scene
We
where
got one
Gal
dinner.
Gadot is giving the fakest laugh I have ever seen
Yeah.
on screen.
Phoning it in. Like I said,
Oh, you're so funny,
Completely
Mark. I've
phoning
never
this in.
laughed this hard before.
You think she was phoning it in?
Yeah.
I see. But my opinion of it is,
I get,
that I
I'm
think
I'm being
Gal Gadot was
hyperbolic,
trying-
but
okay, I thought she was trying really fucking hard. I I don't fucking know. I'm just going by just bullshit here. But I think she was trying really hard to make this as good as she could make it. Right?
No,
But
I don't.
why
I don't
would she- you know, she
disagree
put
with
this
you.
in
yeah,
scale.
maybe. I just think there are
know?
some scenes in the movie, and maybe you know what, this is a good point because the whole tone of the movie is so weird and wacky.
Yeah.
Maybe it didn't really allow her any breathing room to do any real acting. That's possible. But there's just some times where like things are happening to her, like when she first sees Chris Pine again, Steve Trevor,
Chris Pine.
where she
I
should
think
be like,
Trevor
breaking
Pine, I think his name
down.
is.
She should
Yeah.
be in tears. She should be just
60
completely,
years
outside of herself
or
that
over
this
it because
guy-
it's been 60 years.
yeah,
I
or
mean,
yeah,
if she's truly
But at
put her
least-
life on hold, like, and
Yeah.
you'd think she'd also like want
yeah,
a little bit
There
more
are-
proof than him just like parroting back 2 lines to her.
yeah, it's stuff like that, or even like when she sees Cheetah and she realized, like, she's like for the first time when her final. I know we're kind of skipping ahead there, and she's just like Keanu Reeves, like, whoa.
Yeah,
That's
that's the
when
worst
she just has
costume
this
I've ever
dumb
seen.
face, like, like, and then we just move on. There
Yeah.
are just times where I'm like, she should be feeling something right now. There should be some kind of extreme emotion.
I don't think
for
she
what's
was
going
allowed to.
But
you
you're
know?
right. I mean, the movie doesn't really allow her or anyone in the movie to do any real like
And there's just
do
like,
any real
I
acting.
mean,
Yeah.
there's also just like that's one issue is like the wooden acting is pretty obvious, especially in those first scenes where it's like these girls don't like each other. Like I don't know why you would think that they like each other. They clearly do not get along based off of the 4 times they interact positively, and then the rest of the movie is them just like being catty with each other. So it's just like I don't believe that they were friends that had a falling out at all.
Because they didn't establish that. Like I said, that's
Yeah.
what the movie should have been. Is these two having? I mean, the movie's 2.5 fucking hours. We got time. Let's work on
That's
this
crazy
relationship.
It's that long.
That's
Ugh.
true,
Oh,
and it
it's
still
bru-
feels like
Oh,
poorly
it's brutal.
like
It-
Feels
and
like
I know
nothing happened.
we're
in
not
2.5 hours.
quite there yet, but we might as well be. I just want to say because it just popped in my head when we were talking about Cheetah. Probably one of the worst makeup fucking jobs I've seen in I don't know how fucking long.
It looked like Cats.
It is terrible.
Hmm.
It is
looked
terrible.
like the
It is-
theatrical production Cats.
It is.
I don't
It's-
know why you guys gotta hate on anthropomorphic cat girls.
Right? I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you ever guys
like,
ever see that video? And it's cats, but it's the
The butthole cut?
Yes, the butthole cut.
Yeah, I saw that.
I've never seen the butthole cut. I've heard of it.
I just watched a preview for it or whatever it's called, but it's disturbing.
It's
And that's
something-
what I was thinking like, well, if Cheetah just had a butthole, maybe this movie would be all fixed.
That's probably what
and-
the issue was, yeah.
Maybe that's what was wrong with the makeup. Is
some
she
of the
had
worst
no way to
CGI
shit.
too.
It was
Man,
not
I
good.
was it a
Pretty
suit? I
horrible
had no
CG.
idea what he was looking
No,
at.
she wished to become an apex predator, and so she turned into.
She should have been a
cheetah woman.
shark. Should have been a fucking.
Apex Predator.
Can you
is
imagine if
a
she turned into
cheetah?
a shark in the
That's
middle
not
of the
even
White House?
Coolest big cat.
She wishes to be an
Well,
apex predator,
again,
next thing you know, a
the,
tyrannosaur comes stomping out.
The
That
way
would have
the
made more
wishes work,
sense.
like, and also remember when Pedro Pascal is trying to figure out how to like interact with more people to like take advantage of his wish ability.
Yeah.
And he's like, I need to like hold hands with a giant ring of your followers or something. Would that even work?
Stupid.
I don't know. And then the next scene, he's like, oh, this is dumb. All I have to do is broadcast.
Well, the
out
president, right? That he wishes for more nukes, of course. What?
more. More
yeah.
nukes.
Tells him we got this technology, and all I got to do is just take over every television set.
No. I understand where the technology came from and how it was established. What I'm
Oh,
saying
I'm glad
is
you
that
do, because I don't.
it doesn't make sense because that's not how his power works. He needed to be touching people.
Well, yeah, they bypass any. I mean, you know, I'm fine with suspension of disbelief if it's based in some sort of feeling of reality. Again, like the first film.
Mhm.
First film is totally ridiculous if you think about it, but it you suspend your disbelief because it feels like this could
It
be
works.
live in some kind of weird real world, right?
Yeah.
But this one doesn't. So all this stuff now just seems ridiculous.
And
And
there's
then
like,
this is
yeah.
ridiculous too, because there's, like I said, the rules. There's no rules, and then all rules also change all the time. For
Well,
there's
they're like,
a-
they have to like they have to use the rules to solve the problems, but the rules are never consistent. So the way to solve the problems.
well,
are
she
always-
wished back, you know, Steve Pine or Chris Pine from the Cornfields or whatever the fuck. he came up.
Yeah, I
And then-
renounce my
And then
wish.
she slowly starts losing her powers as Wonder
Oh,
Woman.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
her.
hmm
Oh, that's
You know,
right.
she
Yeah,
gets.
yeah.
She
she
doesn't
gets-
seem to care that much about.
But
really.
she doesn't lose them. They start getting a little weak. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she gets shot like 4 times, and it's like it shows like there's a welt on her from the bullet. It didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't puncture the
it's a
skin.
little bit of blood.
So
It's just
like
kind of
she's clearly still got some god blood in her because the Amazonians don't have bulletproof skin.
God blood. You know, this is a
Good name for a band,
This is a God blood. Is a
That's
good name for a band.
probably already a band, I'm sure.
I'm sure. It's
It
going
was
in the
a
list.
video I was watching or something I was reading, or whatever. But someone had pointed out this is the problem when you have characters like Superman too, for that matter,
Thank
who
you.
have too many powers. They're too godlike.
Yeah.
It makes it boring.
Because it does. Because Superman. That's the problem with Superman is, and I actually like Man of Steel or not Man of
I
Steel.
do
What's the one-
too,
what's the latest
actually.
one? Is that Man of Steel?
Man of Steel. Yeah.
Where Kevin
the-
Costner's his dad and stuff.
Mhm.
The second one or the first one? The
The
first.
first
reboot?
one, the origin
Okay.
story.
Yeah, that's
with
good.
the Zack
There's
Snyder
only one Superman. There's only one of the new.
Henry Cavill and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I
Henry Cavill.
like it, but I never realized what the real problem with Superman was until someone pointed that out. I was like, the guy's, except for kryptonite, there's nothing can hurt him, and that's not
Well, that's the
interesting. Because that's,
that's the
the
whole-
biggest problem with Man of Steel, is they sit there and beat each other's asses over and over. And why are you guys punching each other through an IHOP?
right.
Right? Why are you beating him with a train? It's not going to
Yeah.
do anything. You're going to beat him up with a train, and then he's going to get up, and then they're going to keep fighting over something. Why are we doing this? It's stupid. That's the
So
problem with
the-
superheroes that are
Awesome.
too super.
The whole
Yeah.
thing with Superman. There's a great video by a guy called I think his name's Matt or Max Landis. I can't
Max
remember.
Landis.
Max Landis, who talks about how to write a good Superman movie, and it basically his whole thing is it has to focus on, unlike other superheroes who are humans that have this like other identity where they're a superhero.
Yeah.
Superman is actually the opposite. He's a superhero, which is his main identity, and then he has to pretend to be human. And his whole burden is not that he might like have like a challenging fight. His whole burden is that he is so strong compared to humanity that he needs to like temper himself, because if he
Yeah.
wasn't good, he would destroy the whole planet. Which is weird because in Man of Steel, the problem is that he's destroying the whole planet
Yeah.
for no reason. It's not doing anything to the bad guy.
They level Metropolis.
Yeah. Him and which Michael Shannon, by the way, is just, I love him in everything he does. That
Mhm.
guy is an amazing actor. He's
Yeah.
a great General Zod. Me and Danny were just talking about earlier, this movie called Nocturnal Animals, which is a great fucking film. anyone ever gets a chance to watch it, it's heavy. It makes your chest hurt while you're watching it. But man, is it good. But Michael Shannon's in that. He's fantastic in that too. But
Yeah.
he's great as General Zod. But the problem with that fight at the end is it goes on and on and on, and they destroy an entire fucking city for no fucking reason. For them to just
Yeah.
break his neck.
But they did save that family of 2 or 3 kids or
Yeah.
whatever it is, you know, at the very end. So
And
thank
he's
God.
like, well, I can't
It's
let you
just
kill
like the-
someone right in front of me.
Like the scene.
Throw me through
it
a
was-
building first. Jeez.
it was
If we
laughing-
throw you through a
Lord.
building and kill a whole floor of people, that's not really that bad.
Yeah.
I didn't see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Yeah,
See,
it-
I had
it
my eyes
wasn't on
closed.
screen, so it doesn't count.
Yeah.
No takebacks. The same exact thing happens in Wonder Woman during the car scene, or Wonder
Yeah.
Woman 1984 during that car chase
Yep.
scene.
That's
I
got
was
some bad
laughing
CGI, man.
Out loud because they're fighting and it's like an Indiana Jones sequence where they're
It
like
was
on the
exactly what it
cars
was.
and they're like you know they're getting shot at whatever and Chris
Mhm.
Pine climbs up onto the APC and he's like kicking the
How
gun
the
or
fuck
whatever.
can he drive an
And then-
APC?
And then
I'm nitpicking.
the camera pans up and there's like 3 kids playing in the
street.
highway
In the highway. I
while
don't think-
he's
A highway that's 30 miles long in view, you can see.
It's
right?
flat.
The
It's
visibility.
completely flat, so you
It's
can
like
see.
10 miles of visibility, and these kids didn't see all these
while
fucking
there's a
whole
Yeah.
gunfight
armored
going on.
Yeah.
car fucking caravan coming on. They're like, let's play with our ball.
Yeah.
Movie.
I have never
Right?
laughed
Another-
so
another-
hard at a fucking pan up in my lap. I was like, "Are you kidding?" It was like a cabbage cart. Might as well have just been like
Yeah.
going across the
Yeah.
street, like my cabbages. my
A
cabbages
cabbage cart.
crashes into
What the
the
fuck is a
fucking
cabbage
fruit
cart?
It's from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh.
Oh, I've never
that's funny.
seen it.
Yeah,
It
classic.
was just as ridiculous of a fucking moment to be like, "Oh, there's kids in the street."
Yeah.
Playing with a ball. I
I
know, in the
also-
middle of the desert.
Yeah. I also hate that there's no build up. Like there's a couple things about this movie that really suck. And not
couple?
just in the movie itself, but in the build up to the movie, because I'll be honest with you, I really felt like I should have been watching a different movie if you went by the trailers and the movie covers and all that stuff.
I should have
It
been
seems like
watching
they
any other
pitched
movie
this
than the one
to be
I
something
watched.
totally different.
Should have
For
turned it
one.
off.
Cheetah, they pitched in the trailers. She's supposed to be the main bad guy.
Mhm.
She's barely in the movie.
Mhm.
She's barely in the movie. She's in the
Yeah,
beginning,
she's not
a little
really
middle,
the-
and then kind of at the end.
And like
Another
Ben was
thing-
saying, it would have been more interesting if she was the main bad guy.
No,
And
Yeah,
no
and
Max
they
Lord,
sort
you
of
know.
just didn't know what to do with her.
It's almost like Pedro Pascal returned their phone call a little too late. To be
Yeah, and
in
they're like,
the
oh
Wonder
shit,
Woman
now
movie.
we gotta
And
really
they're like,
put him in the
Yeah.
movie.
He was so good in Great Wall. You guys remember Great Wall with Matt Damon?
Oh, it's
Oh my
terrible
God, I
fucking
forgot
He was
film.
about
so good in that
did
they
see
just
that.
they had to have him.
How did
Yeah.
they get
Oh, wait, wasn't
those
he
two?
his
actors?
pal in that or something?
Yeah.
He was the
Yes.
Spaniard. Yeah,
Yes.
he was
Oh.
the Spaniard that
Well, he's
wanted
Spanish,
to leave.
so he's got to be the Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did
But he
Matt
wanted to
Damon do that
leave
movie?
China with the black powder because that's what they set out to do, and Matt Damon is
Yeah.
like, no, we must help them defeat these beasts
Yeah.
Yeah. That
with
movie's
my
other
fucking
weird
that
stupid.
really-
accent that I keep
Yeah.
changing in every other scene. This time, it's like some kind of, I don't know.
Yes, the accents
maybe I'm
change
German.
all the time in that movie. Yeah.
Sorry,
But the
Jeremy,
other
you're
thing
trying to
that
make a
really,
point.
That
What are
really
you-
kind of bothered me is
Yeah.
that in all of the posters and all of the trailers, they make this huge deal about her new armor.
Yeah.
She has this new badass suit. It's got wings. It's
Where-
white and gold. It's
Where
super
did you
gaudy
get that
looking. And you think this is going to be the big guns, like she's going to pull this out in the time of need, and it's going to be awesome, and she's going to wreck shit up with it. And instead, for one thing, we see it like just collecting dust in her closet, basically, for like one scene. And she, Chris Pine's like, "What's that?" And she's like, "Oh, it's this thing." She like throws a little like sheet over it. You don't see it again the whole time. This
And
is like the
she fucking uses the lasso of truth to tell Chris Pine about this one time that a bunch of Spartans were beating up somebody that was wearing it.
Yeah, like who? Like they give you a
Spartans.
little bit of explanation, and then when she finally wears it at the end of the movie, because I'm into this stuff, I like seeing the new suits and the armors and the weapons. She finally wears it, and Cheetah just rips it up like
Oh,
a
yeah,
cat
it
clawing
barely-
at a ball
And
of
she
yarn.
doesn't even fight her off, dude.
Just
She's
like-
the entire fight. She's just like,
All she can
stop!"
do is do this. She's just like,
It's because that suit was designed for Studio 54. It was designed for a discotheque. It wasn't designed for actually fighting
Yeah.
against motherfuckers.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
she almost
a
got
cool
wished to
looking
death.
It
fucking
feels
suit,
like it was
dude.
designed in
you
the,
think
for
so?
the 80s
I thought it
too.
was stupid looking. I thought it was.
I
really
thought it was
cool.
so cool.
I thought it was
loved
cool.
it.
I'm
I
like, there's
thought
no
it would be
way
cool
she's
if it-
gonna move in this thing. She cannot move in this thing. She's
Oh
gonna be
no! When she
C-3PO
fell in
it.
the water, she absolutely would have drowned.
Yeah,
But
I'm like, she's gonna be C-3POing it all over this fucking shit. There's no way she's gonna fight in it. She's gonna be like, human
Well, it would have been
cyborg
cool.
relations.
I mean, they could have pulled it off if they wanted to. They could have done some really cool aerial. It has wings. She barely flies in it. It has wings. Yeah,
it has wings.
Shouldn't she be doing
And
some kind of
she's
cool aerial
hanging
battle
by
shit?
the lasso for 90% of the fight, while Cheetah is just jumping up at her.
She has a suit that has wings that she never flies in. She's got a lasso that she tornadoes, and then that's how she flies. But she had a suit with wings, and she didn't fly once in the fucking suit
And the
with
amazing,
wings.
when does she put the suit on? Do you guys notice that she's not in the suit in one scene, and she's on her way to go stop?
How do you
Max?
carry that suit? Where do you put
And
that
then
suit?
the next scene, she shows up in the suit,
Yeah, it's just
as
on.
if she like went home, polished it, put it on, and then kept going.
Yeah.
Oh my
So-
We
god!
missed. We skipped ahead. We
extremely
missed the part where she renounces her wish. That's very important. She renounces her
right, yeah.
wish.
Well, it
Uh,
turns out that she's losing her superpowers.
Yeah, so she
because-
has to. And I like Steve Austin, Steve Trevor, whatever his name is.
Steve
Mhm.
Trevor. Yeah.
Tells her, you know,
Yeah.
I had a good life. Why the hell did you bring me back? Is probably what he's thinking. I was
Yeah.
in
It's
heaven,
like
bitch.
I had a good life. It was seeing the
I was
future
doing
was
great.
neat, but like honestly, I only knew you for a week.
Yeah,
and, like-
right, like, whoa, this is a little much.
I knew you for a week, and you brought me back from
Yeah.
the dead.
60 years
Right?
later.
60
Or
years
40
later.
years, whatever.
I banged you once. You've been holding on this whole time. Like I've been had 9 other relationships since
I
then.
had a wife.
Yeah,
I was
Heaven.
cheating on her with you. I have kids. You would know that about me if you spent more than a week getting to know me.
I don't think that's true. I don't think he's, you know, he was.
He's a
he
man
was-
of
He was
honor.
a free agent. He was a
Mm,
free
fine.
agent. He was a man of honor.
Chris.
I just,
Trevor.
yeah, I just.
But
I
she
love to
renounces her wish,
imagine
and he
that.
disappears into the ether or whatever. He goes back to heaven or hell or wherever he goes to, and then she gets
he
really,
goes back to being
really
a pilot
upset.
in the sky.
Yeah,
You know, that scene
back
at the
to being a
beginning
sky
where she's
pilot.
like, I still sometimes I feel like he's still up there, and the girl's like, "Oh, you're like religious or something," is what she's thinking, and then
Yeah.
Gal Gadot goes, "Well, he was a pilot."
Oh, okay, nice, okay.
It was like,
Well, then-
just in
remember she
case any
runs.
atheists are watching this movie and don't want
Yeah,
it laid on too thick that somebody might have like faith.
we don't want to piss off any atheists.
Does Wonder
So
Woman have
weird,
Judeo-Christian
why?
values?
It's like, it's okay.
Yeah,
Some people are
That's
religious.
progressive.
believe in God.
Just
Well,
let
and then she
her-
runs down the street at 100 miles an hour, and then she flies. Well, first she lassos something, and just flies in the air, and then she lassos a
Cares.
freaking jet.
That's right.
Lasso
yeah.
whatever the hell I want to lasso.
It's only going 500
Oh God,
miles an
we missed one of
hour.
the
You can
best
lasso them,
bits.
guys. You can
I'll
lasso
lasso wherever I
Lassos
want,
the
Franco.
fucking rocket, and it takes
Yeah.
off, and it
Yeah.
sends her.
That's what I'm talking about. She lassos a jet. And
No,
it-
in the car chase
airplane.
scene to save the kids, he shoots
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
rocket
yeah.
out.
Oh
of the
my
plane.
god, I forgot about that.
I forgot about that.
which happens,
so
which
fucking
is a
stupid.
moment that happens shortly after.
There's so
the
many
part where
ridiculous things. I
they
forgot
shoot
about that one.
There
they
was no.
shoot a 50
Yeah.
caliber bullet at Chris Pine, and she flings her lasso back faster than the speed of sound and catches the
she
bullet.
catches the
and
bullet
just
with her
chucks it.
So stupid. Oh.
We're talking about a guy who wouldn't know what a rocket is, right? They don't know
Yeah.
fucking RPGs in 1917.
I know they didn't have those.
And he's able to show it. Diana, lasso this motherfucker.
Check
Right?
it out.
Yeah.
It's
So
this
even
thing
know-
that looks like a
stupid.
Panzerfaust, which wasn't going to be
Yeah.
invented for another 20 years after I died.
Seriously, was Patty Jenkins playing Halo 3 and she rocket jumped and she's like,
Rocket jumped.
It made,
dude, we gotta use
Put
this.
this in a movie.
Yeah.
That's
So
insane.
she
Like,
lassos-
somebody. Oh my god.
She
lassos
starts
the
flying,
plane.
and I didn't know Wonder Woman could fly, which is why she needed the stupid invisible jet. If she could fly, she wouldn't need that stupid
Or a
plastic
suit with
jet.
wings. Would be
I don't
Or a
know.
suit with
Yeah,
wings.
yeah.
A suit that like allows you to fly.
You know-
would be interesting.
You know, Jeremy, you're bringing a lot of reality into this with your suit. Okay.
No, it's on the cover
Like-
of your movie.
Yeah, it is.
Mm.
It's a suit with wings, but I'm just gonna lasso shit, including lightning.
Oh yeah, we got-
And I like that part too, because when I tell you what, this is the best part of the movie. It's ridiculous and over the top, but it's got Hans Zimmer's beautiful, beautiful score, beautiful movie
yeah,
score.
it's pretty good.
He's in it.
And
So-
then you got Steve Trevor. It's just wind and air or whatever, you know. How he
Oh
flies
my
a jet
God.
after being in heaven for 60 years.
And then she puts her arms out like a fucking plane.
Yeah, and she just starts flying. So like,
Yeah.
okay, so she's Superman now. Okay, so
I
she's
don't
got
know
same
if she
purpose
actually
Superman.
was flying though. I feel like they tried to make
Flying,
it
bro.
somewhat. I feel like they tried to make it somewhat ambiguous because she
She
did
was
have the
falling with
lasso of
style.
lightning.
Well, I
Yeah,
went
she
to
was
the
falling with
internet.
Style.
Going Buzz Lightyear. on
Falling
the
with style.
Switch.
I went to the internet and they said that she can fly now. So
They can fly
awesome.
now.
They fly
can fly
now.
now.
They fly
They
now.
fly
now.
They fly
They
now.
fly now.
They fly now.
Oh,
They fly now.
God.
What you looking at there, 3P? My friends who have been in for maybe one movie.
And then Babu Frick. "Ah, da, da, da."
I hate Bobby Frick so much. I fucking. Okay, you got Jar Jar Binks. Babu Frick is a fucking close second.
I think Babu Frick is way
Babu.
worse.
This stupid name too. Babu Frick. Fuck you, movie. Babu
Ugh.
Frick. I'm going to red eye with the man. He's like Italian too, like right.
Yeah,
the Babu Frick.
so offensive.
Oh, right, Jeremy. How'd you feel about that? You're Italian.
I was gonna write
Fuck.
an angry email.
You're so mad. How dare you make Babu Frick Italian? Hey,
Yeah, so dumb.
gold robot. I was there. My programming says that I can't fucking read this shit. Fuck you, 3PO. You're bypassing your programming right now.
There's only one
is
language that I
against the
can't
laws
say.
of
and
the
it's
Republic.
one language that you need to hear right now.
I'm 6 million forms of communication, except this one.
It's like, why wouldn't they just
No,
delete
I
it then?
know it. I
Why can't they just delete it from him?
Oh yeah, actually, sorry, I do know it.
refuse to read it.
actually know it,
So
but I
stupid.
won't
I
tell
know it,
you.
but
Yeah,
fuck
exactly.
you, people.
Don't think about how it was some child that put me together after scrounging
Don't
parts up from a
you
scrap heap.
Fucking get
But
me
I
started
know
on
the
that.
ancient language of the Sith, and I refuse to speak it.
Little Annie's like,
Yeah. Fuck that movie. I'm so mad that Anakin Skywalker built 3PO. Fuck
Fucking
that movie.
me is
not
like, oh,
funny.
here's a cool program that I found while doing my slave work. And Anakin's like, whoa, ancient Sith tongues. Oh man, I can't wait to install this in my new
You're
droid.
so bad. When they come back, the guy in the wheelchair. Yeah, I fucking
installed
bought
a
that
new
bitch and I married her. It's like,
program.
fuck this movie. I hate that movie so much. So mad. Oh,
cry.
I bought your mother and then married her. You're welcome. It's like, what? Oh yeah, by the way, she's played dead with the sandpaper.
I bought
But
your
it's-
mother, married her, and
I
then she
had
got
to-
kidnapped.
Yeah, what happened to your
Don't
leg?
worry,
I tried
it's complicated.
to get her back, but the dishes weren't getting done when she was gone, so I had to go get her. Got my legs
Terrible.
off.
Terrible.
How many
But it
times
was-
do you expect me to save this woman's life? It's not
They
like I
sand
love
people
her.
my legs right off.
But it's Joel Edgerton. It's Joel Edgerton. Come on.
Oh,
That
man.
is not though. That's the young Uncle Owen.
For
I'm
the
not talking
people.
about Uncle Owen.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the dude who bought Shmi Skywalker and then said, "You know what? You make good wife material," and married her. And then he lost his legs. Remember, because he's in the
yeah, because
Oh, you're right,
The
you're right,
floating
yeah.
wheelchair.
That's what I'm talking about. When they
Yeah.
come back to talk to him, and he's in the
Yeah.
space wheelchair, and that's
Yeah.
how he's. I tried to save her.
Yeah,
Floors
it's
weren't getting washed, so I had to go get her.
Try and go look for her. It's brown.
Oh, it's so terrible. It makes me so
But-
mad.
So
I hate everything about that. Sorry, go ahead.
God. Well,
So
I mean,
Wonder Woman.
people might be wondering why we're talking about bad movies like the Star Wars films that weren't the original trilogy, while we're talking about Wonder Woman 1984. And the reality is, to talk about Wonder Woman 1984 is to talk about bad movies in general, because it was. a fucking-
This movie feels like that.
train wreck.
It feels like those Star Wars movies.
I cannot believe how
Same type of way.
bad this movie is. Like, I am actually amazed at it is the room level. It is the room levels of just garbage.
Yeah,
I
and
cannot
I'll tell you,
believe it.
I was in disbelief after I finished it. I really thought to myself, like, because I liked the first Wonder Woman movie a lot, and I really had a lot of respect for it. I thought it was really good. So for this one to have fallen so far down, I thought, is it me? Like, what
Yeah.
did I do? Like, did I just not pay attention?
This is your fault, Jeremy.
Was I like on my iPad too much during this movie? Like, what did I miss?
Ooh, he has an iPad though.
Can't be as bad as I think it is, right? Like,
Nice,
not really
nice,
that bad.
nice flex.
No, it
there.
is.
I got an iPad.
Yeah, nice humble brag.
Yeah,
You know,
a
it was
refurbished
maybe I just
Gen
wasn't
2
paying enough
iPad.
attention
They don't make
in
them
my
anymore.
Tesla. You know, with the
Yeah.
playing up
Yeah,
on
on
my
maybe
my
while my
refurbished Gen
Tesla
2.
was driving me to my palace.
That's how bored Jeremy was. He was on his refurbished Gen 2. Okay.
Yeah, my
that's how
refurbished Gen
bored he
2
was.
with
Yeah.
Flappy Dunk.
Flappy Dunk.
I
Flappy
flappy dunked my
dunk.
way through this whole fucking movie, dude.
The fuck is
Dude,
Flappy
I
Dunk?
actually-
Flappy Dunk.
It's a mobile app, man. Come on.
Yeah, it's a mobile app.
Is it Flappy Bird, but
Is it
like
like
with
Flappy Bird?
basketballs?
Yeah, but it's better than Flappy Bird. it's got hoops. Not a
You're right. Flappy Bird lacked hoops,
Okay,
which was my
look,
biggest problem
For
with
one
it.
That's
thing, you don't
what
play
I wanted.
bird, you play basketball.
Okay.
It
Okay.
has wings.
I'm in.
You
You
can
got
customize
it.
the wings. You
It's
can
got
customize
wings.
the
You can
basketball.
fly.
Basketball with wings,
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
You can
fly
use the
now?
wings to
Fly
fly.
your basketball
They fly now.
through the hoops. If you get swishes, it's double points. If you get swishes consistently with streaks, then you get lots of points, and it's really fun. And I'm up
I
to
believe
like
you.
level, 200 something.
This is worth playing over. Yeah.
I don't
Over
even. I don't give a
Wonder
fuck.
I honestly,
I flappy dunked
Until they
my
bring
way
back
through a
Doodle
lot of this
Jump.
movie the first
had a
time,
hard
and then I
time.
tried to pay attention.
I had a hard time. Yeah, I
Pay
mean, there's a
attention.
point where they give the backstory of Max Lord or whatever the fuck his name is, and I was just like,
Terrible.
I remember like I looked up from my phone and I saw that it was like showing his backstory, and I was like, how the fuck did we get what? And then
So
like, and he was standing in that like gold halo, and he's like, he sees that like, fucking putting the world on the brink of full-scale nuclear war might endanger his child, and then he's like,
I don't care
oh,
about that fucking kid.
I have to renounce my wish. What have
Oh,
I
it's
done?
there.
About him the whole movie.
Hold
Well,
the
so
phone.
it's-
Hold the phone. It's Steven in the chat. Steven Pham.
What?
Oh shit!
Yeah, Steven Pham is in the
Perhaps
chat.
Hey,
he's in the
Steven.
chat.
Hey, Steven.
Oh, Steven Pham, welcome to the chat. Love that
Return.
guy.
he says.
Welcome,
He says
welcome
worst
to-
DCEU movie ? Yes.
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 So-
Wait.
Tune
Well, let's
in.
just think about it.
Perhaps.
There's some real stoinkers, so we really have to be careful here.
I haven't
What
seen most
about-
of them actually.
Oh well, that yeah.
So I'm just, it's
Superman.
the worst DC
Batman
movie
versus
I've ever
Superman is pretty.
Batman
rough.
versus Superman is really bad.
It's pretty
Mhm.
bad. Your mother's Martha. Let's be friends.
you say that name?
It's the worst. It's the worst. Like he couldn't have. Okay, right? Him and Alfred are hanging out in this computer room for fucking their whole lives, and they never Googled the fucking guy. And you're gonna
didn't Google it.
right? Like if you're gonna
Built
go
You
a
have,
suit that was
Google Chrome on
designed
that
to
bat computer?
fight him.
to fight Superman, and you never. Oh shit, he's got the same mama's. Huh. Huh. And that's enough for you to stop trying to kill someone. I hate when they do the movies. It was my biggest problem with that movie with the people. The second space movie with Star-Lord. What's that called?
Oh, Guardians of the
Guardians of the
Galaxy,
Galaxy
which is
too.
better
Yeah,
than the first
so
one.
this huge battle. You're wrong. Between Green Girl and Robot Girl, and then
Gamora and
she's trying to kill her. Gamora's
Nebula.
trying
Yeah,
to kill her,
Gamora
not
is
just
definitely trying to kill her. yeah.
not shooting around her. She is
Mhm.
trying to kill her, and then it's like, oh, well, we're sisters, so I guess it's okay now.
That was played off so much better than the Batman versus Superman.
True,
It
but that
was.
stuff still irritates me because she wasn't just trying to fuck with Gamora; she was trying to kill her.
Right.
And then they
there's
just
that-
180. You can't
there's
really
that-
do
just
that.
to
that's
just to go
so-
back to
oh,
Steven's
Someone's trying to kill you. It's hard to say,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah,
what? I
yeah.
understand why you're trying to kill me. No, I don't understand why you're trying to kill me. You were trying to kill me. I will never understand why you were trying to kill me. There's never a good reason why it was okay that you're trying to kill me. Anyways,
Yeah.
um,
Just to put it in perspective, we are putting this up for the worst stoinker of the DC universe up against Birds of Prey.
Wait. Hold on. Before you
forgot about
before you
Birds of
go
Prey.
on, I just want to say
That's
we
pretty
are
bad.
now entering the Jeremy's Stoinkers part of the
yes,
Stoinkers.
Brandon,
Our
put the
new.
graphic. Put the graphic up.
Stoinkers with Jeremy.
Stoinkers.
I don't.
It's an animation. Imagine
'Cause
an
I think it's an-
animation. It's like Jeremy Stoinkers. Da 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 da.
No.
Okay.
have
Anyways,
better
continue
theme
with your
music than that.
segment. I just want to do a proper intro.
You write it and I'll post
Okay,
it.
okay. So we got Wonder Woman 1984. We got Birds of Prey. Did you guys see Birds of Prey? It was
I
pretty
did.
bad.
Yes.
Fucking terrible.
Yes, it was
Oh,
pretty
I have
terrible.
heard of
Okay.
that
Pretty
one. It's
terrible.
like
We also got
it's a
the
noir film, right? With
With Harley Quinn.
yeah.
Or
That one's really bad. And we have the first Suicide Squad movie.
pretty
which
bad.
was
What is this, some
really
kinda
bad.
Suicide Squad.
So
I'd say I'd have to say this is worse than all of them
I think you might be right. I just wanted to like
it's
really
the worst
Pretty
before I
close.
jump to
because
this is
I
the
don't
worst one.
hate Suicide Squad, but it's not a great movie.
Mhm. Well,
Is
Will
it-
But I
Ferrell-
don't
Will
hate it.
Ferrell? What are we, some kind of Suicide Squad?
And I hated when he was a pimp. That was pretty stupid too.
Yes. Why was he?
I
a
didn't like
pimp?
when he was a pimp. That was just
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it was
Seemed
strange.
ridiculous.
Didn't need that.
But it's
with the
not-
hat.
And it's dumb, but it's not as bad as this.
not as bad
This
as
is
this.
takes it. Well, I
Well,
don't know,
I
man.
mean, Birds of
Batman
Prey actually
v
isn't-
Superman is pretty fucking stupid.
But were you
Yeah.
laughing? I was laughing. I was guffawing. I was actually rolling over on my couch in like tears streaming
Wow.
down my cheeks from how hilariously awful some of the moments in this movie were. Like,
That's
I was just
Hmm.
fucking
Yeah, I was-
crying with laughter, dude.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
part, the whole part on the road with the kids and the ball was so fucking.
dude. I was watching with Monica and Christy. Christy was like, "All right, I'm missing sleep because of this movie," and so she went to bed
It's like,
about 45 minutes into
for
this
her.
2.5 hour movie. And so Monica and I stayed up and watched this thing, and we were laughing the entire time. I was actually on my phone on Wikipedia with the plot right there. So when we were watching the movie and the fucking plot line didn't make sense, I could look on Wikipedia and see what was happening because we couldn't follow
I
it.
had Flappy Bird open. Flappy
He was Flappy Birding.
I was
Actually,
Flappy
funny.
Duncan.
So I watched it. Sat there and actually watched it when it first came out Christmas Day, and then when I watched it earlier today, I think I made it about 28 minutes before then. I was over on my computer and playing my guitar and stuff like that, and it was
Yeah.
just happening in the background. So because it just
Atrocious.
was like this is dumb.
Well, this movie had the
Yeah.
same amount of cheese that Suicide Squad had. There was a moment in Suicide Squad where I had that reaction, Ben, where I was like, okay, this is good. Like the Joker was laughable. Like I actually laughed at the Joker. Like Jared Leto's
It
Joker
was
was
so stupid.
atrocious.
Yeah.
And but the part where they're fighting what's her face at the end, the witch lady, voodoo doll or whatever her name is, and then they're fighting and they're
Enchantress.
fighting and they're fighting, Enchantress, thank you, and they're fighting and they're fighting, and then she's like enough, and then takes all their weapons away. It's like, why didn't you do that in the beginning?
Yeah.
If
she's
you
like,
have
"I
this
was just
end all
playing around
power,
before."
why don't you do it in the beginning and end this shit and get them out of there? Because now you're just wasting time. It makes no sense. And I laughed out loud in the theater when I saw it. I was like, are you kidding me? This
I
is
got into
this
a
is
lot
where
of
this
trouble.
is gonna go. Ugh.
Not a trouble, but I got a lot of looks and angry grumbles in the Grauman Theater, the Chinese theater in downtown LA, when I saw the first showing of the Return or the Rise of Skywalker, because it opens and Kylo Ren is just murdering people for
Yeah.
no. He's just like viciously slaughtering natives on a planet somewhere.
Yeah.
On that
And-
planet that's not from the Mandalorian. as
Yeah,
we
it's-
know.
Yeah, it was not that
it's
planet. It was
not
Mustafar apparently, which I guess
Crack
is
Ran or
forever.
whatever.
But
Well, he had to get the triangle
I
deal.
immediately started laughing, and then I laughed again when they got the dagger, and it was this fucking hokey looking dagger, and it's got a slide rule in it, and they're like, "What does it mean?" And then I was laughing even harder when she fucking lines it up at the Death Star. And she's
Dude.
like,
The Goonies.
They
did.
Goonies did, dude. That's the
Goonies.
same thing.
It's true.
I
I,
was
never thought
laughing
about that.
That,
They
so
that
totally
hard.
necklace
Goonied
that
it.
he's got, and it lines up with the
Remember when
rock.
she force heals the snake?
the fucking
Underground.
Yeah.
fucking snake.
sand snake.
No.
I
And
was,
all
I
that
was
was-
expecting Butch from Fallout 3 to come out and be like, "We're the sand snakes."
Dude, they
stupid.
fucking that hashtag not my Star Wars, okay? Get that
They
out.
fly now. They fly now. They fly now. They fly now.
now.
Fucking stupid.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Got jetpacks.
And Babu
were used
Frick.
Extremely
Babu
often
Frick.
ever before.
Babu fucking Frick. Oh, I really hate that character. I just hate him.
Ugh.
You didn't really when C3PO was dying. He's like, my friends. Hi, Babu! God.
And then he comes back at the end, the last space battle at the end of the movie.
When he shows up and he's like, ah!
Yeah.
Hey, you guys are here. It's like Finn's like, you guys are here. And Babu Frigg's like on the intercom.
Yeah.
I would have killed myself.
Why did
No.
they bring him?
That's our backup? Are you
Super
fucking
serious
kidding
bounty
me?
hunter girl.
Listen, Babu Frick's really small. You can put him in your purse. He goes in
Yeah.
I want to
Well,
see
you
him
don't
on the
have to buy him a ticket, right? You just put him in the back.
He's a carry-on pet.
That movie
Yeah.
where they get off the planet and the whole time it's fucking super stoic, serious bounty hunter girl and fucking Babu Frick. She's like sneaking into the Hutt Palace and Babu Frick is in her handbag and then she's like about to sneak up on a guard and he goes, he's like, "Dang it, Babu, you fooled him again. You blew our
blew it."
cover."
You blew it, Babu.
Uh-oh.
Fucking Babu Frick. I'm so annoyed right now with that stupid
Oh my
name.
God.
This stupid character.
Ugh.
He's the only one that can laser into C-3PO's head. It's so stupid.
Yeah,
Ugh.
that's the guy.
That
We've
whole
somehow
movie's, We need to go here to do this. We need to go here to do this. We need to go here to do this. It's the whole movie's a fucking.
We've somehow made it back onto the same scene we were talking about like 30
'Cause it
minutes ago.
feels the
Because
same.
to talk about Wonder Woman 1984 is to talk about bad movies.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's the
And
bottom line.
Babu
true.
Frick
Yeah.
3 is a bad movie. So
Yeah.
Now, how does it? Now, I'm actually kind of forgetting right now. It kind of ends with what? Chris, Trevor.
No. That was
Or
so
Steve
he
Pine.
sacrifices himself. She goes and has her
she
moment. in the
renounces her
clouds.
wish.
And then
Yeah,
she
she flies.
she
She
goes
flies
and
now.
fights Cheetah.
She flies now.
She kills Cheetah. She's like,
Did she
renounce
murder
your
Cheetah?
wish. Renounce your wish. And they're in the water. And Cheetah's like, no, I'm not going to renounce my wish. I'm edgy and cool, and you can't stop me.
Mm-hmm.
And then Wonder Woman is just like, all right, fine. If you're not going to
It's like emo kids in high school.
Yeah, exactly. Wonder Woman literally is like, fine. If you won't listen to reason, or she says some bullshit like that, then you're just gonna like have to suffer the consequences. And then like a power line falls into the ocean. And
The
starts elec-
ocean.
and
The
starts
entire
electrocuting
ocean.
Cheetah, and then Wonder Woman holds her under the surface
She got the suit
while
on,
she's
bro.
being
That's
electrocuted.
right.
She has a metal suit on, so that those don't
But
connect.
she's a god, so I guess
That's
it's
true.
something.
She's
Yeah,
a-
but it's
I
God
don't-
metal.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's God metal.
She
This is-
Special
fucking
God metal.
God
murders
blood. It's God
her
blood.
friend. She's like, fine. If you're not gonna be
They're
nice,
not really
then I'm
friends.
gonna
Come on, acquaintances
kill
at most.
you.
Coworkers.
Yeah.
Coworkers.
They
So-
had one
okay.
lunch. They had one late dinner, an early dinner, late lunch, one
I-
glass of wine.
this
Yeah.
is the
That
segment.
was such a funny story, Barbara.
This is the
Sex life.
segment I like to call an electrician, Dad. Can you electrify the entire ocean and kill somebody like that?
Settle this once and for all.
Wait,
Well, it
what
is
if a
salt
power
water. It
line
is salt
landed
water.
in your? What a power line lands in within 10 feet of your vicinity, but you are in like 50-foot deep water.
kind of water.
Dude, she's in like
Salt
Salt,
water.
well, it's
the
salty
fucking
water.
San Francisco Bay.
Oh, you're dead. No, he's from a certified electrician. You're
That
dead.
that would kill you.
Okay.
I don't
So-
know.
Because you're close
Doesn't-
enough to the power line.
It's all about potential, right?
Mhm.
So it would go
I
into the
got
water,
potential.
and it's looking for ground.
Think of that
Electricity
song.
is always trying to go to ground, right? So it's going to
Yeah.
go to ground through you and the water. Although it might go through the water and not you. It's
See,
all about
But I think I actually hear what you're saying. It's all about potential, and this movie had a lot of potential. and
Yes.
because
Yes.
it failed so miserably, Cheetah had to die.
meaning the potential of the salt water
She
may be
didn't die,
greater
though.
than the potential of you to ground.
I
So it
see
may
what
not
you're
kill
saying. I
you.
see what you're saying.
But
Like it'll use the salt water instead of you. Like fuck you, you're not enough.
You're
Salt
not
water.
enough. but salt
regardless,
water is.
Apparently, I'm never enough,
regardless
so I
of
have
the
to be
mechanics
safe.
of this, it's very clear
Yes.
that Wonder Woman kills Cheetah. She
But
pulls
she
her out
doesn't
of the
kill
water.
Cheetah.
No, Cheetah is like, oh, but like that was
She incapacitates Cheetah, right?
attempted
yeah.
murder at the very least. She's holding her underwater while she's being electrocuted.
She's a bad guy.
Yeah, and she
Then
was
it's
making the
okay.
assumption. The first time I watched it, I think she was making the assumption like, "Oh, all this electricity because Cheetah's so tough, it'll just knock her out or like incapacitate her." But it
You
won't.
know
One
what
of
I
her
do when
9
I want to
lives.
knock somebody out? Is I
Because
hold
Wonder
them
Woman is
underwater until
also
they
an
stop
electrician.
Hold
moving.
on. She's a cat. She's got 9 lives. She just lost one of them. It's no big deal.
Yeah, I think Wonder Woman probably have the same conversation with her
Wonder
head.
Woman held
Oh,
her
the greater
underwater
potential of
until
the
she
salt
stopped
water.
moving.
Mm-hmm.
That is attempted murder. You don't just think.
Cats can breathe underwater, don't you know?
So, anyways,
She-
she,
but she landed on
tries
her
to
feet,
kill
yeah.
Cheetah or incapacitates or whatever, and then she goes and she talks Pedro Pascal down by basically appealing to like the truth.
No, she doesn't though. She talks to. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to everyone else. Lasso leg. Remember, and he's up there yelling for 30 minutes
in
in
front
the
of the
light.
camera.
It's just so dumb. And then she's thought, renounce your wish. And so the whole entire planet renounces their wishes. You know,
Yeah.
300.
Yeah.
Or let's just talk America. 300 million people. Just
I do love
Collectively
that
renounce their wish.
They go to the guy who wished for that for his manager to drop dead.
yeah.
That was in
and he's
Ireland.
like, I renounce my wish. And it's like, well, of course that guy was gonna renounce his wish. He didn't know he was
He killed
making a
some
wish,
bitch.
and he just
Yeah.
fucking killed somebody.
Yeah.
It-
What about the
it's-
dude who
it's-
stole the money? The woman who walked out of the bank with all the money. You know, like
Yeah,
I wouldn't
it's-
renounce that wish.
The whole concept of it is completely stupid.
I love
Um,
the humble girl who's like, I wish for $1 million.
Yeah.
And like the person next to her is like, I wish for $1 billion.
But and,
Yeah,
and then
dummy.
you know it's the really bad Spy Kids 3 dialogue, or maybe it's Maybe it's Shark Boy and Lava Girl dialogue. Either way,
I was gonna say yeah,
Um,
Spike is 3. Is it
same
Spike is
shit.
2?
you just gotta believe in your dreams. It's the same type of shit. And then that's when the kid he's been avoiding the whole entire movie, Alistair, who doesn't give a fuck about, now he cares about him.
He decides that
Alistair!
none of this is
Alistair!
worth it without my precious
Yeah, without the kid I've been
beloved
avoiding my
Alistair,
whole
who
life.
I have been completely ignoring this whole movie.
Yeah.
Right?
What
It's
a-
my
what a
weekend, and I'm
fucking
like,
awful
fuck.
absentee father he is too.
Yeah,
I am
right?
not a loser.
And I
That
love how
guy's
the
a
kid just
loser
shows
guy.
up out of the woods.
Mhm.
He's like running
Yeah.
around in this field. Alistair! And here comes this asshole out of the fucking woods. Just happened to be close by.
Oh
Fuck
yeah,
you,
that was
movie.
also really weird because Alistair was in the middle of a fucking like insurrection in the United States.
Yeah.
There's like a guy on a
It's-
fucking overpass shooting into crowds, and Alistair's like, where's my dad?" And then
Well, he's small. He can
Yeah.
dodge bullets. The whole movie's like
That's
this.
how that
Though.
works?
It's like they fly to Egypt. They end up in some taxi, and they happen to pass Max Lord's, entourage going the exact opposite direction. She's like, "Hey, that's him." And then Babu Frick jumps out and he's like,
what
"Hey!"
about that? No, what about the moment? What
Fuck
about
you,
the
Babu
moment?
Frick.
What about the moment that they actually referenced this?
Babu Frick?
No, where yeah, when they reference Babu. No, the scene where Cheetah is studying the stone and they're still in Egypt, and then she's like, "You guys got to get here right away. I found a dude that knows something
No
about the stone."
stones.
And then
Oh
and
yeah.
then they
I
like
found a
walk
stone
in through
knower.
the do- Like
Not a
Cheetah
rock,
hangs
Marie.
up the
Yeah.
phone, and Gal
phone.
Gadot walks through the door,
Yes,
and Cheetah goes,
Jeremy.
"Wow, you got here fast."
It's
literally-
movie stuff,
But she teleports into the room that fucking Cheetah's in, and then Cheetah's like, "Wow." I don't even think that was Cheetah. I think that was Kristen Wiig being like, "Serious?
I wish
how
you'd
we're
said-
writing this."
Yeah, I wish you'd said, "What'd you guys take an invisible jet back here?" That would have been even. Fucking
Yeah.
just do it,
Something.
movie.
Just
You guys-
hand
Might
it
as
up,
well.
man.
Might
You
as
guys
well
took
go
a Suicide
full-blown.
Squad back?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Was this some kind
I
of
wish she
Suicide
had just
Squad?
turned around and been like, "Ah!"
How beautiful though was it, guys, when Steve Trevor and Diana Prince are flying through fireworks in the invisible jet? How
Oh
romantic!
my god.
That was the most romantic and beautiful part.
Mhm, mhm.
It's,
It's so romantic.
That Trevor was back in heaven and didn't have to deal with this bullshit.
I love that he takes
Trevor's
the
like in
plane.
the invisible jet, seeing the fireworks, and he's like, this kind of reminds me of heaven.
Yeah.
I'm going
Sounds
back.
good.
Thanks for
Yeah.
taking me out.
He's
Like
like,
putting it in some stranger's body.
yeah, like,
You know,
dude, I haven't had to
like
take a
this,
shit
but
in
way
60
better.
years. Like, what are you doing to me?
Can go back there.
Do we have enough time to fly through this firework display? Like,
Where
we
were
have
you
enough
at?
fuel to do this
Um,
and also make it to Egypt?
Oh, wait, where were you at? Not this place. I was in heaven. You took it up, bitch. Probably
Like,
like,
I
that
can't
shit.
remember.
Fireworks. It's heaven's like kind of like this, but way better.
Way
I'd
better.
love to go there.
I know. He's literally like, I was somewhere else. I can't really remember anything about it, but
It was so beautiful. He
It
didn't have
was-
words for it. I think is what he says.
it was
That
fucking-
says.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I need your help now with Babu Frick. So come on, get in this airplane.
It would've
We're
been
gonna
so
go.
great if
We're gonna
she
go
brought him
to
back and he
Exegol
was
and
like,
shoot down
"Look,
the
lady,
Star
What is,
Destroyers.
I don't even remember who you are. Like, what?
What's that girl's name? Liz. What does she think of Babu Frick? Get her.
Liz?
Let's get her.
Liz, what do you think of
Liz
Babu
Stevens.
Frick?
What does
Steven,
she feel?
Liz?
Steven, what do you
Tell us
think of
about
Babu
What does
Frick?
Steven feel about Babu Frick?
Yeah. Okay. So, can we talk about how the fuck Diana was able to keep this job at the Smithsonian for such a long time? I know we
Oh,
touched
yeah.
on it a little bit.
We already
but, like,
established
what?
that she's been
She
killing
murders
people.
everyone every
She's-
11 years.
Killing the staff.
If people
the
question
entire
her,
staff.
she holds
Either
them
that or she's got one of
underwater
those Men
until
in
they
Black
stop moving.
fucking,
There you go.
snapshot things.
That's a good point because I forgot that in Batman v Superman, she's still working.
She's still working there.
Still working at the.
Finally, she gives it up again for Bruce Wayne.
Thank God.
That's when she's like, all right, well, I'm going to try this whole dating thing again.
Does she? Does she? I don't even remember, dude.
There's a
I
little bit
don't
of a
even remember
romance
it.
there.
Does
Yeah,
she?
well, Batman and
I mean,
Wonder
good for
Woman
her.
do
She
have
really
something
needs to
of a
move on.
romance in the comics as well, don't they?
Yes, they do.
I don't even
Yeah.
know anymore.
So
Like a
Liz-
complicated.
Oh, Liz says, "Who the heck is that?" So I
Can
wonder
you
if
pull
you've
up a
just
picture
been.
of Babu Frick and just put him over
Who
me?
the heck is Babu Frick?
So I wonder
How
if she's
dare
just
you.
been
How
thinking
dare
that
you,
we've
you don't
been
know
like
about Rise of Skywalker,
talking about, like,
the
what?
greatest Star Wars movie ever
like
made.
some Italian dude was yelling at C-3PO the entire time.
See, He's not Italian, but they kind of. It's like the guy who. Annie,
That's
what
what I
the
was gonna say. It was like
bubble?
and
they've been
Thank you.
doing they have a
Mind tricks
long
don't
history
work on
of
me.
these
only
stereotypes.
money.
And it was only a
Exactly.
matter of time before they got to the Italians. They,
Yeah.
True.
they already did the
Actually,
the-
Phantom
the-
Menace is extremely offensive.
This
the
is
fucking
Babu Frick.
Japanese aliens.
Yes.
Close the blast doors. There's
Yes.
steel
Yes.
coming through. It's like, oh my god, it's all really bad.
Yeah. And what's his name?
It's Babu Frick right there.
No, Babu Frick.
Ah,
Yeah.
Watto? What's
That's
his name?
exactly what it sounds
Watto?
like.
Who
Watto.
owns
yeah.
Annie?
Why the heck
Watto.
is that? Is what she said.
Watto.
Annie.
Oh, Annie?
Oh my
I can't
God.
even do it.
Why the heck is
Whoa.
that? I don't
They
know.
make
I don't
him
know.
Immune to Jedi mind tricks when it comes down to money. They make the Jewish stereotype
I know, right?
He
obsessed
needs
with
to
money.
just have a little gold chain with a little Star of
So
David.
fucking
Dude, it's like the
upsetting.
fucking
What he needs.
Star Wars version of Gonzo. What the hell is that, dude? They got the Muppets involved. Jim Henson's spinning in his grave, and he's like, he stole
They could have
Gonzo.
just had Adam Sandler from Uncut Gems.
They could
It's-
have.
Oh fuck! That
Oh,
one was
I
so-
lost everything.
It was terrible.
Now I bet
Um,
everything on the basketball game, and I'll hold my dad hostage. until he-
Did
until
you,
he
you guys
sees
ever watch
what-
the I think we talked about it before the Screen Rant. You know where this guy goes in and says, "You have a Star Wars movie for me?" What's that called?
Oh,
know
damn
what I'm
it.
talking
Yeah, I
about.
know what you're talking
But anyways,
about.
Is when
Oh,
he
you're
talks
talking
about,
about the executive one.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's called something.
There's a name for it.
Anyways, by Screen Rant. But anyways, the one where he's talking about how they're gonna get the money to pay for the parts for the spaceship is like, oh, you're just gonna get some money from somewhere? No, I'm gonna put a child in a dangerous pod race to win
And
the
bet
money
on
to
him.
get the exactly and bet on him to get. It's so great.
I know.
Yeah.
I
It's
do.
true.
People
It's a
have
ridiculous,
used,
ridiculous concept. Like, put this
people have
child.
used this as an example of like why Qui-Gon Jinn, like, you know, extra lore stuff is like Qui-Gon Jinn is a great Jedi because he does really sus things as a Jedi.
Yeah.
Like put
Super
kids in
sus.
danger and cheat at gambling.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, it's okay because he had lots of mini-chlorians.
Yeah,
That's
midichlorians.
Yeah.
the
You
kid's
can-
M counts are off the chart.
They're
I
off the
think-
charts.
I think if you're rescuing some kid and his mother from slavery, and the kid has mass midichlorians, I think you can crack Watto on the head, right? And just take him.
Just hold him,
Crack one by the head.
guys. If
Just
if Diana was
tie him,
there,
throw
she
him in
would
the
have just
back.
held.
Yeah,
she
cut
would've
his
just
legs
held
off,
Watto
turn him into
underwater
Uncle
until he
Owen.
stopped moving.
Right. It's. I mean,
Yeah.
if we're talking about morally questionable things to do to rescue a child from slavery, putting him in a pod race where he could potentially die and betting on it is way worse
Yeah.
than just beating up some Jewish alien
Well,
and
it's-
knocking him out so you can steal the.
It's actually
the
more
slave
fucked
kid.
up than that though, because Anakin says that he pod races, and Qui-Gon he cocks an eyebrow and he's like,
Yeah.
"You must have some Jedi-like reflexes if you can pod race,"
Yeah.
which just like makes it seem like he's doing this whole thing not because he wants
Like,
to save Anakin, but
ooh,
because he's
let's
like
see how I can-
selfishly
Let's
curious.
see
I
how I
know
can
you-
use you.
And then is
You probably
Sebulba a
know
Jedi
the-
then?
The Sebulba. I hate Sebulba. You probably know the dialogue, but my brother says it all the time. The Wamanuma Pafa or whatever. You
I
probably know
always
it better.
say, I
Yeah.
always like to say, "Whoa, you want a wonga?"
Yeah. They want
You
That's
have to
Bib.
pay for that,
What's Bib?
Why? How come Bib? Speaking of which, how come in the Mandalorian, how come Bib is fat as a house, but he turns into Babu Frick too? Hey, Boba!
Oh, he was
Hate
always
it.
Oh, there's
that-
a
he was
guy in
always that
Phantom
weird.
Menace who, I mean, he might not say Wonga, but he has the same. He's speaking in the
same
same
thing.
It's
dialect.
Huttese is the name of
Huttese.
the language.
Yeah.
Huttese.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And those are actually like there's phrases that have been translated. Like one of the ones used is
Thank God.
"Gota da Lodia," which is,
Whoa, that was.
So speaking of
impressive
which,
right there.
that's
speaking of which-
like "good day" or something.
Bib Fortuna, they don't say that in Huttese. They're not kind. Bib Fortuna says McClunky.
Yeah, that's
He
a thing.
says it. He
There's
says
also
it.
a
It's
thing-
not a thing,
There's
Benjamin.
also a thing in Huttese where you
dumb.
if you repeat a specific phrase multiple times, it actually changes meaning. This is one of their like lore things. It's like, yeah, it's kind of a neat little. I like language a lot, so I think this one's just kind of like a neat little idea that like it's not just like when you say like Wanga, it's like means like house. But if you say Wanga Wanga, then it's like it means like money or something.
It
It's
don't
like,
mean house
what?
house.
It doesn't mean house house. It's like Wanga Wanga. That's,
Like Guillermo is bill in Spanish, but if you say $1 Guillermo, that doesn't mean $1 bill.
That reminds me of just like 2 wongas, money, 3 wongas, airplane.
One wonga. One wonga. Go to the bathroom. through it.
1 wonga
Yeah.
baño.
What was he Was he texting on those phones and you press 7 3 times and you get P?
You know,
Is that
two
how he
ones.
came up with that?
Yeah. If you press 0 3
Oh,
times, it's
either way,
Yeah.
You want
this movie's
Hell.
this movie's terrible. It
Yeah,
sucks.
anyways, Wonder
It's got
Woman.
shit writing. It's
Wait,
got shit
but-
directing.
just to clarify, how does it wrap up? I literally can't remember.
I
How
don't-
do they wrap this
so
thing up?
basically, there's snow. Everybody has renounced their wishes. Gal Gadot is walking through
That's
the
right.
snow, and then Trevor, the original Trevor, who has been,
Disembodied Trevor.
he's
whatever.
been raped and gone for months, and
Yeah.
then he comes back. He comes to in a snowstorm, wearing a pirate outfit,
The stupid pirate outfit. Yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
and he's looking up in the snow, and he just goes, "Gosh, it's so beautiful, isn't it?" Not what the fuck.
Where am I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
What
was
happened?
What
spring
happened?
when I went to sleep? How is
How
it?
come? I know. How come I feel like I've had sex with you? Random woman out in the
That's what
fucking
he should
snow.
have said. Like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say something whimsical. I actually meant to
I didn't
say,
recognize you with your clothes on. Is what he should have said.
You came to me. You came on me in a dream.
All right. Okay.
And,
Really?
But, and then I think she winks, and she goes shh to some kid.
Mhm.
Okay, that doesn't matter.
Hey, well,
But
you know
then-
what?
And then the
was
real
there-
woman shows up from the 70s, and she's
Linda Carter.
fucking
yeah.
gold suit bitch. What's the name of the gold suit girl?
I can't remember.
Duma Lima? I don't know. Duma Scarma? Scarma
So
Lima?
Babu Frick shows up
In
and
golden
she
armor.
and she catches a pole that like
Yeah.
stops it from crushing a baby, and a woman's like, "Oh my god, you saved my baby!" But also, how the fuck did you do that? And
That's
she's
right.
like, "Oh, I."
Hysteria,
Hysteria,
Steven
thank you.
says. Thank you, Steven.
And she's just like, "Oh, it's it's just you should have used its weight against."
Yeah,
Oh,
whatever the fuck she's.
there's a
It's the
rat
Wonder Woman I grew up with, though. It's Linda Carter. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she
That's
gets into her
70s Wonder
shitty
Woman.
plastic jet and flies away.
It rolls down a hill, and she crashes at the bottom and dies because it's a shitty plastic jet.
There we go.
Having
So
a-
there's a couple things I wanted to touch on before we end, though. So
shitty plastic jet playing the. wind.
I just want to point out how massively they fucked up Maxwell Lord / Pablo Escobar's, what's this guy's name? Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal.
his
Escobar?
fucking character. Okay, Maxwell Lord is responsible for the Justice League.
Is he really? I don't
Did
know
you
anything
know
about the
that?
character. I've never even heard about the
No,
character.
I've never heard of
He
it.
creates the
Until
Justice League so he can get all the
he
heroes
wish it?
together. Steven, help me out. I think you might know this. I think he gets the Justice League together because he is a villain to get them all in one place so he can figure out how to get them against each other so they fight it against each other and kill each other.
Is this in the comic books?
This is the comic book. This is the actual character.
But
The
the whole
literal.
Justice-
This is the actual character. Maxwell Lord is a genius. I think he's a better character than Lex Luthor because
What?
he's
He's not
more
bald?
important. No, he's
Say
more
it.
important.
Say it
To
Yeah.
he has
not bald.
hair.
because
Okay.
he has hair. So
He
he's
has
hair.
hair.
He's
Yeah.
got a sweet 80s suit.
He's got a
that's
sweet
like
electric
3 sizes
wig.
too big for him.
I've never even heard of this character before.
Neither have
don't
I.
know who he-
Neither have I. But I was reading it towards the end of the movie. I was like, "Are
Yeah.
you serious? This is what they messed up humongously." It's like if they made Thanos just some random dude that kind of just like,
Thanos just some
Oh,
thug.
remember how the Justice League got a movie?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that was
also
Star
pretty
Lord was
bad.
not in that.
That was terrible.
it was pretty
Yeah,
bad.
that's pretty bad.
that
I'm
was
waiting
not
for the
good.
Snyder cut though. I'm legitimately kind of.
I'm actually kind of excited for that too. I like Zack Snyder's stuff. I don't think he's
me too.
I don't think he's a visionary like a lot of people think, but I like watching his stuff.
I think
Yeah.
that he does. I think he does sets and cinematography really well.
I
Yeah.
just think
very
he needs a better editor. I think he
well.
needs a
It's
better
not even
editor.
that.
Oh, yeah,
he
he
needs
is.
he needs like better writers, honestly, because like
Well,
he doesn't. There, I watched a great video about how every single like Snyder film is all style over substance, and as a result of that, like it looks really cool in a vacuum,
Mhm.
but because like there's like not good writing holding it together, it just feels like really bullshit.
Like
Yeah, it's a lot of
300.
style over
300 is a
substance.
great example.
I'm gonna kind of disagree with that. I think again, like I said, the problem is half an hour is the problem for all these
If
movies.
you made Justice League half
Just
an hour
trim
shorter,
that
it
shit
wouldn't
up.
be good. If you
No,
made
no,
this
but
movie
that's
half an
It's
hour
not good
shorter,
anyway.
Justice,
Zack
hold on,
Snyder's
Justice
movie, though.
League is not a Zack Snyder movie. That's
It's a Joss Whedon movie.
Joss Whedon movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Sorry, Joss
sort
You
of.
know what I mean? We're like
But
the
Zack
original.
Snyder is still involved in all of the DC movies.
True, but I
Majorly.
mean, like the original, sorry, Superman film. What the fuck it's called? Man of Steel. It's Man of Steel.
Mhm.
Or am I thinking of the old one?
No,
Anyway,
no,
you
yeah,
know
it's
what I
Man
wanna
of
talk
Steel. It is.
That the problem with that movie really is that it just goes on too long. We have this massive fight scene that goes on forever between the super people, the super bad guys when they fly to the IHOP, and then the end of the movie, when they fight for fucking half an hour and knock all these buildings down. If
Yeah.
they just chopped out half an hour, it would fix a lot of these problems. Because I actually
Yeah.
like that Zack Snyder Superman movie. I think it's good.
Yeah, I think, it was
it's
good
just
too.
too fucking long. Is its real problem with it?
Yeah, and
It's my biggest problem with Christopher Nolan movies, not the Batman ones, but his other ones that he does. I think they
Oh,
would
yeah.
make
Some
more
of his
sense
Batman
to
ones
me
Inception.
are also
I
way
think
if they would
Inception was a
chop
bit
out
long.
half an hour. Inception goes on way too long. The
Mhm.
space one with
Yeah, actually.
all
one
right,
goes
all
on
right,
too
all
long, yeah.
right. Goes on too long.
Yeah,
Murph,
that's
I'm
true.
coming back to you, Murph. You're going to be 80 years old, and I'm going to be fucking 40, but I don't give a fuck. And you're going to die, and I'm not even going to care. Even though earlier in the movie I was crying because it's 52 years.
That's actually pretty good, Matthew McConaughey. I
You
don't
know
think I've
the
ever
thing
heard
I
you say
like
that.
about-
Do that.
You know the thing I like
Hey,
about
Hey,
being
Murph.
trapped in space? They get older.
Oh, wow, Ben. That was incredible. That was good. That was really good.
Be a lot cooler for dead.
Be like,
You make
Yeah.
this space station, Murph? Be
Yeah.
like cooler if you did.
Be a lot cooler for dead.
I love it because I just watched that. It popped up in my feed on YouTube or something.
Oh,
that part at the
Dazed
end. I knew you'd come back to me, Dad. even though you're
Interstellar, that's the name of the
Oh,
movie. I couldn't-
Interstellar really irritates the shit. I mean, like it.
Life
I wanted.
of
I
it.
I
wanted
like
to
that
love
movie.
because yeah, you love it. It's Christopher Nolan's.
I don't love it, but I like it.
2001.
I think
It's
it's a
his
good movie.
2001.
Yeah.
Again, I think if they chopped out about a half an hour, and that part where he's crying when he's seeing Murph talk on the fucking radio phone, and it's been 50 fucking years or whatever, and she's her 30-year-old self or whatever it is, and he's having this very emotional, intensely emotional breakdown, basically. I loved all that. It was missing from the end of the movie when he finally goes to see Murph, and she's dying. She's on her deathbed, and he shows up. He really doesn't have any reaction to any of this. It's very weird.
Mhm.
And Murph
Yeah.
doesn't have any reaction to him either.
I
He's
feel like
also got like a whole family in there.
yeah, the whole family's there. It's weird. So it's a weird thing, like where he not know if he overreacts to seeing the video, but then he completely underreacts at the end of the movie when he's seeing his daughter, who he's not been in her whole fucking life. Last time we saw her, she was 12 or whatever the fuck it is. And he said he was coming back to her, and she's an old woman now dying in the bed, and he's holding her hand and stuff, but it's kind of not really that heavy. It's kind of like, okay, well, Murph,
Yeah,
good to
shit.
see you, bitch.
Anyways,
Bye.
you got access codes to the rest of this
Super.
space station because I'm
Yeah.
gonna go steal me a jet and just.
And that's just pretty
fly
cool
out
how
into
the-
space.
The baseball field's up at a curve. But anyways, let's go and move past this movie. We're
Yeah.
gonna talk about this movie.
So I think we
let's-
can.
yeah,
I think we
my
can.
rating-
quickly-
Yeah, let's go.
My
Wait,
rating of
wait.
WW4.
I want
Go ahead.
everybody in the chat, if you have seen Wonder Woman 84, let us know what you thought in the
Blast your
comments.
rating.
So I want to read your ratings out. So
0 to
let's go
10.
ahead. Let's go ahead. 0 out of 10.
0 to 10.
Really? Okay. First,
No,
0
I
out
said
of 10.
0 out of 10 is your range. That's
Oh,
not what I'm
I
doing.
thought you were.
Oh,
getting
okay.
it at 0
Okay.
out of
Clarifying.
10.
No, it's not
Okay.
that. It's not that bad. I don't know if
Yeah.
I don't even know if anything's that bad.
I don't think anything's that.
Um,
No.
Because
This is a weird thing that happens. Like you can get about, for me personally, you can get about to a 2, and then it gets so bad it starts to get good again.
Yeah, it
Except
goes
for
to a
fucking
different- It gets. It like goes.
Urban
back onto-
Cowboy. Urban Cowboy is a 1 out of 10 for
You-
me. It's not a 0, but it's
Urban
it's
Cowboy
1.
is a 10 out of 10 for me on the bad movie scale.
No.
I love Urban Cowboy.
Not even.
It's
that was
so
a
It's actually-
fucking bad. It's
atrocious.
awesome.
It's so
movie.
not entertaining though.
I love it.
yeah, that's
what
I've
made it, I
watched
feel.
it and watched it.
Yeah.
I think it's a generational thing. It's part of it too, right? But I've and also an inbreeding thing because I'm a redneck. it really
That redneck
speaks to me on
vibes.
that level too. Trailer parks and the whole thing. I fucking love everything about it. But I think it's a generational thing too. But I give Wonder Woman 1984 a light 4.
A light for
Light
yeah.
4. and that's being generous. It's not good, but the reason why I even give it a 4 is because it's well done. That makes any sense. You know, it had a big budget, $250 million.
Yeah.
It's pretty to look at.
It's pretty to
Good
look at.
cast.
And Gal Gadot's absolutely beautiful.
Good cast.
It's got a great
good cast. It's
soundtrack.
just Hans Zimmer again hits out of the fucking park.
Good music.
Beautiful soundtrack. So yeah, it gets a 4 because of, and all the. I feel bad for all the people who put their heart and soul into a shitty movie. You know,
Yeah.
they get the 4 points for
Yeah.
killing themselves to try to make it as good as they could, but it just sucked from the gate. So, anyways,
Yeah.
a 4,
Yeah.
a light 4.
I am going to give this movie an 8 out of 10 on the Room scale.
On the Room scale.
Whoa.
I think this movie, like I was saying before, once a movie gets so bad, it can like come back and start to be good again. This movie absolutely did that for me. There was some scenes where I was genuinely laughing harder than I've laughed at some comedy movies. I thought
really
this
quick-
movie
Wow.
was fucking hilarious in some moments, and for that, it's got to be like The Room. It's not as ridiculous.
Don't do the Room scale. You can't do the Room scale.
It's the Room
Yeah.
scale, man. It gets a not good out of 10.
It's
in,
the
like, a
Room
regular
scale, man.
I cannot give this movie a point system out of 10 for whether or not it's good, because the only way that I can perceive this movie is by how laughably awful it is. It's a not good out of 10. Compared to The Room, it's like an 8. It's almost as funny as The Room. It just needs 2 extra points to really drive it home.
But I'm not gonna watch this movie ever again. Where The Room, I will watch another 1,000 times.
That's
Yeah.
why it doesn't get.
I
a
don't know how
10
you can put on the Room
That's
scale.
why. That's why it doesn't get another 2 points. Really quick. In
Unless
the
you're gonna
chat,
watch another 1,000 times. Laughing.
in the chat, when you give your rating, I want to know why. Just
Yeah.
give me a quick summary about why you give it.
Don't
your
say
rating.
a rating of 2 and because is not a reason.
I know where you live,
So-
Steven.
Yeah. Do you say I know where you live,
Jesus.
Steven?
Yes, I expect you to provide your review in triplicate.
Yeah. Show your work, okay?
Yeah, show your work.
You show your work. Yeah, there you
Show
go.
your work.
But yeah,
All right.
not good out of 10 on a standard scale. Like I can't even give it a number. It's so bad.
Really? It's that? It's 0 to you?
It's not good.
Wow.
It doesn't deserve a number out of 10 because it's so bad.
It's pretty good. Okay, Jer.
I'm gonna give it. God, I've been thinking about this whole time. I'm gonna give it just to be a little bit different. I'm gonna give it a heavy 4,
A heavy 4.
maybe even a 4.5. Let's just say heavy 4.
Really?
Yeah, because this.
Okay.
It was one of those when I think
I'm
about
listening.
movies that were extremely forgettable and not fun to watch at all. This isn't quite it. Like I would give. There's other movies that I've seen where I thought, oh, this is like I'm gonna forget everything about this movie, right down to the name of the movie, and I'll forget I ever saw it. Like even in theaters, I'll go see movies and then just completely forget them out of my mind. This one only gets saved because Gal Gadot is hot
Mm-hmm.
and she's fun to look at.
She's fun to
on
watch.
screen. And the cast is fun. Like Pedro Pascal. We didn't really even talk about one good thing about this movie, really. But Pedro Pascal is kind of funny. It's kind of fun to just see him on screen in that ridiculous suit, you know, and like talk to people.
He was so over the top though for me. I just
He's
was like-
entertaining though.
Little things like that kind of entertain me. But really where it loses it is I don't remember shit. Like you guys are talking about stuff that happened in the movie. I don't remember that happening at all. And I've seen it twice.
Did you just
Seen
watch
it
it
twice
today
now.
too?
I did flappy dunk my way through the movie the first time.
that
That's
doesn't
going in
sound
the
like
quotes,
Jeremy.
dude.
That
So,
does
you
not
know,
sound like a James Garner.
How many flappy dunks does it get out of 10?
Right?
How many flappy?
I mean, I can understand if you're looking at Gal Gadot
This
and
is-
flappy dunking, but
Oh wait! Hold on.
Flappy dunk movie.
So this movie is successfully or cordially invited to the Hall of Jeremy Stoinkers. Danon, play the graphic.
Jeremy Stoinkers.
I would give it the graphic up, Danon.
how many
still a
flappy
four.
dunks would you give this movie, Jeremy?
Oh, dude! In terms of flappy dunks, this thing gets a 9 out of 10 flappy dunks.
Oh, wow.
Because
This is
you
the
can
perfect flappy dunk
your way
movie.
through the whole movie and be satisfied.
Oh my god!
You're gonna be like, the movie's gonna be over, and you're gonna be like, sick! I'm at like 300 flappies.
Wow, you're still young apparently.
You know.
Up to 300 flappies.
Oh yes, one day you will get up to 600 flappies.
Oh,
But yeah, so I gave it a heavy 4. It's still a 4 out of 10. It's really bad. It's really unforgettable. But every time I looked up from my Flappy Dunk, I was like, "Oh, that's cool, fireworks."
So you're telling us you looked up for your phone one time?
I would like look up, "Oh, fireworks," and then
you
things
use
would
your phone for
happen.
flappy dunking? Interesting.
You can use your phone too. Or write down.
You have to put it up on a little stand, though. I mean,
Okay. Anyway, can I get my score? Jesus.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Heavy
Oh.
4, but still a 4.
Good lord, Flappy Dunking. That's in the quotes. That's immortalized now.
yes.
So I would give this movie a heavy 3. Yeah, and it was.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It just, but it was getting to that point. Like I agree with Ben, where it was just so ridiculous and so fun to watch because it was so bad. It made it fun again because I was
That's
just
what I'm saying. Yeah.
yeah. Monica and I were just ripping this movie apart. Like it was like every moment, every scene, there was something wrong with it that was just so blatant and out of place and obvious. It's incredible, Dad. You are white.
Trying to, I know my I don't know why my camera's so fucked up tonight, and it just
Yeah.
blowing me out.
It's
so.
because I fixed my camera and now it's.
That's
I'm
what it
gonna
is. You
translate it
fixed your
onto yours.
camera. My camera can't react
Mhm.
to it for some reason.
So yeah, 3 out of 10. Not good. I'm so glad I didn't go to see this in the theater because
Yeah,
for one, it
right.
would have been really
Disappointed.
difficult to, and then 2, it's just terrible.
I'm
terrible
glad I didn't
experience.
pay for this movie, man.
Yeah, yeah. We're not. It's not even my HBO that we're using. So
Me neither.
I didn't even pay for this HBO.
yeah. So really quick, I want to go through the chat. So Steven, it looks like Steven was the only one that watched this. So he says it's about. He said tilde 4 out of 10.
Ooh.
Which I'm gonna have to store for later for another movie. I'm gonna use the tilde 4 out of 10. He says I came up with that score myself. Didn't steal Daryl's with 1 L. It's 2 L's.
How dare
Come
you,
on,
Steven.
Steven. I've known you for
always
like
been
20
through
Yeah,
years.
this guy fucking
After all,
he
we've been
pours his
through-
heart out into the fucking chat, and Danon's sitting here on his high horse giving
Yeah.
a shit about spelling his dad's
It's
name
like
wrong.
actually it's
It's 2
2
L's.
L's.
It's 2 L's, bro.
God
Wow.
damn! I'm so
Important.
sorry, Steven.
Thank God
It's
he
not
didn't
Ben-
use a
it's
Y.
not Ben with 2 N's.
It's not
Right.
Benjamin.
It actually would be
Ben
Ben
with
with 2
two
N's
N's?
because my last fucking name is Nickerson. So try again.
Ben. All right. Sorry.
How does
So
that
what,
work?
what else did he say about it?
So he says didn't have any of the charm of Wonder Woman 1. Diana was innocent, naive, kind-hearted, and heroic in Wonder Woman 1.
True.
She's a completely different person in Wonder Woman 84. She's colder and selfish, caring more about Steve than the guy whose body he takes. That's a pretty good point. We covered that
Yeah, that's
earlier. I
interesting.
think that was before you jumped in, Steven. But
That's
if you want
giving
to
her
go
too
and
much
watch
credit,
that,
but
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. No good action scenes, weird villains, and really bad story. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
There's no good action scenes in this movie.
Yeah.
Like the
yeah, but
fight.
that's a DC movie problem. Like Man of Steel
yeah.
might have the best action scenes of any of those DC movies.
Yeah.
thus
And she
far.
felt like she was floating a lot.
Yeah.
Like
CGI.
The CGI was bad. It was
crap.
She felt like it was floating, especially in the mall scene. She wasn't
Mhm.
jumping; she was floating on fucking wires that
Yeah.
they erased in post. is
And
what it
even
all
in the
felt like.
first Wonder Woman movie, the ending fight scene with her and filed teeth guy or what?
yeah, file teeth.
What's his name? The
Yeah,
the main bad guy at the end of the movie.
It's,
Even that one
Christopher
in
Walken.
in an otherwise great movie, even Wonder Woman, the first one, had a shitty end fight scene. Like fight scenes suck in these DC.
Well, they
movies.
just go on too long. Is part of the problem.
and
They're
there's too much
they're against
CGI and
two
not enough
people who are-
actual choreography.
they're too
Yeah.
powerful. They're both too powerful. So
Yeah.
they're beating the shit out of each other, and then they go, "Oh, that hurt," and they get up and fight, and you're like, "Why are we
Yeah.
fighting?
And then
And
Martha
they-
there's
they
happens.
think- should be
explosions
like-
and shit.
You're a
But
god,
there's-
and I'm a god. Let's don't fight."
Yeah, but
We can't
in all
beat each
these
other.
Movies, all these movies, there's no actual choreography. There's nothing fun to look at. It's
Yeah.
just big bright explosions.
So Quarter Digital actually pointed this out very, very well when they did their VFX artists react to the Black Panther scene. Black Panther was a terrible movie and overall, in my opinion, but the fight scene
That's a
itself
bit of a hot
was
take.
it's very hot take because
I don't think it's a good. I don't think it's good.
not a good movie.
I agree with
think
you, but I do. It's a hot take.
it
Generally.
is a hot take. I
Yeah.
think it is. I
I've never
think
seen
it
it.
is the weakest Marvel film of.
Weaker than Thor 2?
I haven't
Or
seen
Iron
Thor
Man
2.
2.
I haven't seen those. I do think it
Iron
is
Man
worse
2
than
I
those
enjoyed.
because
That was
After
pretty
going back to Iron
Because
Man
Robert
2, I
Downey
like
Jr..
it better now than when I first
Yeah.
saw it.
well, Iron Man 2 has Sam Rockwell and Robert Downey Jr., which are fantastic.
That's
Yeah.
true. Sam
Liz
Rockwell
is saying
pretty
I'm gonna go to jail. Is this because of the Black Panther? It's not a racist thing. It's just a bad movie. It's a terrible
Thou doth
movie.
protest too much, my friend.
Like I said, hot
I do
take.
protest. It's a very hot take. Listen, I have a
Hot
lot
take
of
because
there's
it's
a
Black
there's a
Panther.
lot of plot points, and I think Black Panther is a great character, and they did him wrong in this movie. We can talk about that some other time. What was my original point? So VFX artists react. They're talking about the fight scene at the very end because it's all CG and it looks awful for one. But when they're fighting in CG, there's no weight behind the punches, which is weird
Yeah.
because you can kind of animate that in, but they don't really do that. So a lot of
Yeah.
it just feels like kind of they're just flying around and floating around, and like
That's
it's
what I'm
almost
saying.
like they're it has all the weight of a pillow fight, where like when they get hit, there's like this weird like jello reaction, or they don't react enough. Like it's not there's
Exactly.
no gravitas to the fight.
Well,
you
it's
know?
two CG characters, and it looks fake.
It's
as
just
hell,
two CG
so.
characters. There's no
Oh.
choreography with the two actors, or even just stunt doubles who are actually in there throwing each other around or punching each other, because it's the whole thing is CG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Oh,
You
I
know,
just
so
want to clarify.
You got to
There's
get
none of
people
that
to hit each
human
other.
element of the fight.
Mhm.
That's what's so great about good choreography. And it's like there's a human element to this fight.
Yeah.
It's just two computer people flying around on a screen.
Yeah,
Two
I mean, a
people
lot of
flying
it
around.
was motion captured too, but they just did a really bad job of. I mean,
It
but they
didn't
also
feel motion captured at all. man.
no,
Yeah.
no, it didn't. But
It
they
felt
also
totally CGI'd.
they point out that it's a lot of it has to do with the time that you have in post, and these VFX artists had about 3 months
Yeah.
to do the entire movie because they were still doing pickups in like November, and the movie came out in February.
Oh, that
So
sucks.
there was
That's horrible.
no turnaround
Didn't know
time for
that.
any of these VFX shots, which
Yeah.
is weird
Somehow
because the
Marvel
rest of the
gets it
movie
right.
looks great. I mean,
Somehow
the
Marvel movies seem to strike that perfect balance of CG, but still like
unless
good enough
it's
choreography.
unless it's the
know what I mean?
entire Spider-Man movies because they didn't make a practical suit for him, or any of the suits in Avengers Endgame because those are all CGI, especially
the
the suits
first
when they're
Avengers-
walking into
The
getting
first
into
Avengers is got great
True.
choreography with Thor's hammer and Captain America flying around him, and then they bounce the thing off the shield with the hammer. Like, there's a bunch of really cool choreography in that first Avengers movie. It's a lot of CGI, but
Mhm.
somehow they make it all work and feel human still.
Yeah.
Whereas almost every DC movie, the first Wonder Woman end fight scene, Dawn of Justice, where they fight the ogre, Doomsday, right? And then this movie too. It's and even
Yeah.
Man of Steel, it's like it's just a bunch of computer things flying around on a screen.
Yeah.
Nothing
Again,
makes any
there's no
sense.
weight. Like
There's
if you
no
threw
weight
someone
to it.
against a concrete pillar, they would crumple
Yeah,
and break their spine
Winter
immediately.
Soldier's a great example of like that is awesome choreography. That's a fun. Every fight scene in Winter Soldier is a really fun to watch.
And they fucking did that movie wrong because that entire knife fight scene in the middle of the movie,
Mhm.
they did all that straight through. But in
Yeah.
the edit, they cut back and forth, cut back and forth, cut back and
Right,
forth. It's
right.
a very American thing to do, and it's like,
Yeah,
dude,
it looks
they
like
can do
taking-
this in real time. Do it in one take because it's more impressive. It's like that's why John Wick's fight scenes look so much better than a lot of Marvel
Yeah.
movies because everybody's doing it. They're not doing a couple pieces and then they stitch it all together later. No, they're all doing it
Yeah.
one go, and then they're just cutting back and forth to make it look like an action movie, but it looks terrible. Go the John Wick route.
But in
go
John Wick, it's
Chinese
like two
movies.
regular people who aren't supposed to have superpowers. But so
Yeah.
it's cool. Like somehow with the Marvel movies, they have superpowers and there's tons of CG, but still it's a good fight scene. Somehow they still they blend the superpowers with the choreography to make something that's a good fight scene. And just every one of these DC movies, it feels like a bunch of crap on the screen. I don't care about any of it.
Screen crap.
Yeah. Screen
Screen
crap. Yeah,
crap.
DC's
And
got to
this
pick
Wonder
up the
Woman
slack
movie
here.
too, screen crap.
It's
Screen
screen
crap
crap.
all the way.
Screen crap.
Although the scene where she lassos the rocket and it takes off and takes her with it is fucking hilarious.
That was pretty funny.
That's pretty good.
Like the
so-
idea that this rocket is gonna be able to take this woman with her anyway, like or with it. Oh my god, it's so good.
So Liz, she says no, I wasn't thinking that, but just kidding because she thought that Black Panther was great. I mean, a lot of people did. I just had
Yeah.
I had a lot of problems with the plot. I thought the performances were great, except for the weird hokey accent that Chadwick Boseman is using. Michael B. Jordan is fantastic in the movie.
He-
Michael B.
he's
Jordan
really
is
good in it.
worth watching
Really
that
good
movie
in it.
for.
Mhm.
Michael
Yeah,
B.
Andy
Jordan
Serkis
is
is really good too.
incredible. Yeah,
Andy Serkis, but Michael B. Jordan really is
he's
menacing.
incredible. Yeah,
Mhm.
Very well done.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
character, yeah.
Also,
So
the
horrible
movie
fight
as a
scene.
whole is not
Horrible
one
fight
of
scene at the end of
better.
that movie. Crappy CG.
That's what we're talking about.
crap.
Terrible
Yeah.
CG. Two
That
two
one with
guys.
between him and the two Black Panther suits, they look like the same person. Like you can't
Yeah.
tell who's who in the fights.
And it
It's
looks like
bad.
they're floating the whole time.
yeah,
There's
you have
no
black
line.
suits on a black background.
They're
It's
like,
not
yeah,
great.
exactly.
Yeah, don't do that.
One's purple and one's goldish. You know.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So
Now you're
let's
supposed to
go
know
ahead
the
and wrap up here. I'm just gonna read through the chat and then we can close this out. So Steven also says that the waterfall fight scenes in Black Panther were better than the CGI fights. Yes, because they're real people fighting
Yeah.
on a green screen. I mean, you can get around that. And then wait till we get the Mandalorian tech in this, so we're not using green screens but actual projection screens.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then one of the better DC fights, Batman versus the 20 guys in the warehouse. That was pretty good.
That is the exception. That
yeah.
fight scene's actually really good.
I just don't
really
buy
like that one.
Batfleck. I do not buy Batfleck in any way, shape, or form. So
Why? I mean, he's
It
really
doesn't
good
work
at
for
it
me either.
because he's a monster in that fight scene where he's
He-
just wrecking people.
That's a great fight
breaking
scene.
bones.
I don't like him as Batman.
yeah. So
Okay.
it was like, again, great choreography, great cinematography, but I just don't buy is it Ben? Yeah, Ben
Ben
Affleck as Batman. Like just so that kind of ruined it for me.
Well,
Just
they
kind
also
of
never
weird.
gave him a Batman movie to establish himself as Batman,
Not really.
Yeah.
which kind of
They're rushing. I mean, a lot of people have been talking about this. The DCEU is rushing into the big ensemble cast stuff. So
Yeah.
I agree.
then
he
he-
will always be Daredevil.
he will always be Daredevil. That's true. Yeah.
With Carmen Electra, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And then fucking Colin Farrell is the bad
Electro
guy.
nachos.
Oh, Colin Farrell as a bald dude with a bullseye on his forehead is a fucking
Bullseye. Huh?
terrible. Terrible.
Huh?
Never
Like,
saw
points
it.
at himself.
Terrible.
Another
Never
8 out of
saw it.
10 room movie. What a fucking
Really?
hilarious.
I've never even saw Daredevil.
Terrible
It's
movie.
So
terrible.
stupid.
Fake
and funny.
me,
Terrible
yeah.
movie. But it's fun. It's a fun movie. But it's bad.
It's like
So-
Sin City.
That
meets
is a
fucking
song
that's
featured in
fun.
that movie heavily.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
all
All right, so let's
cool.
go ahead and close this out because we're about at 2 hours here. We went 2 hours and 40 minutes for the Fargo one, and we only did a movie this time. So do you guys have any ideas for the next movie, or should we just figure it out?
Yes.
Well, what were we originally going to do this week? Because we kind of chose this.
Yeah.
What were we going to do? It's,
We'll talk about it. They're starting. Netflix is. I don't know when they're doing it. They're starting to release new movies. We should
Yeah.
start doing those.
Yeah. We should do some current ones.
yeah.
Just so we're not, we can branch out a little bit, get some of those bad
Sure.
ones in there, and see what we can do with them. So, yeah,
We'll talk about it off the.
yeah.
off the-
Yeah, well, if you're following us on Instagram, it's WLT Podcast, and you can see all the updates there. I'll post updates about the next movie that we're going to be doing. Hopefully not the day of, like I did today, but I kept forgetting. Or you can follow us on Discord, where we'll post the next movie too. Discord is in the description. So yeah, thanks for joining in. This has been the We Like This podcast, and that was our
Bye.
thing on Wonder Woman. So thank
Wonder
you.
Woman 1984.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Cool.
Are we off?